on. Come on, Nelly. Come on, Nelly. Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Got a great broadcast lineup for you this morning. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Got a great broadcast lineup. Before we go another step further, before we take another iota, I got to say good morning to this young man right here. This is my brother from another mother, but we got the same father. This is Captain Leonard. Good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Raheem, and morning, Glow family.
I threw your whole devil in him.
All I was thinking about when you said it is, when you say that, I always want to say, well, we're looking at a very sunny morning this morning that's flying over the ATL, right?
Hey, you got to come back with that, man. Hit him with it. Hit him with it. Hit him. As a matter of fact, give us a weather report, Leonard. Give us a weather report.
We'll be a high of 79 and a low of 59. Very sunny. Should be a beautiful day. Make sure you still are taking precautions and enjoy a sunny, beautiful day in the ATL.
Good deal. Good deal. And that is your weather report from DKM Media Group and Associates. Right here on 111.5 and 111.3. We own both of them. Then what is going on in the political world? Catch us up to speed.
Well, definitely want to the Botham Jean bill, and I'm pretty sure maybe um, my man Badger, who is in Texas, uh, will probably be aware of, has passed the House pretty much with bipartisan support in Texas, and it's the bill is 929, House Bill 929. It's called the Botham Jean Bill. And of
Mm-hmm.
course, remember the tragic shooting of that brother by the off-duty officer,
Yes.
Amber Geyer, who went to jail for murder.
Mm-hmm.
And this particular bill in Texas says that these particular officers must have their body cameras on at all times
Mm-hmm.
during investigations. Now, I would love to see what the actual law enforcement agencies put in place whenever they find out officers are not turning those cameras on.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, the bill itself is the law that says it should be worn.
Mm-hmm. At all times.
Now, it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't force them to wear anything. However, when there are
Mm.
issues that go to court, the law says that you should have had it on. So if you did not have it on for any reason at this time, you can be negligent.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm,
Okay.
I'm, I'm thinking that's the way they're going with that. But I love to see how laws work
Mm-hmm.
and how they're being used, because many a law has been written and passed that has not accomplished anything.
So you think this is just fluff, almost like fluff? They're just trying to pass a moment.
No, there's a requirement there. Once it's in law, there's a requirement there. However, it has to be tested. So
Mm-hmm.
when we see this bill being used, then we'll know the purpose of this bill and how it's used.
Okay.
Doesn't take away qualified immunity.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Clyburn, we're gonna talk to you about that because you may have to give up your seat.
Out of South Carolina.
Well, you know, he has an opinion that's not very popular with younger people, especially activists like myself as well, who don't
Mm-hmm.
even have to be young. But at this point, we don't need to be making deals with people when it comes to qualified immunity.
Wow.
So to even want to pass any type of criminal justice reform bill that does not address this qualified immunity is a real issue. The notion that if we don't get it this time, we'll get it next time is not the right attitude.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because, like I said, the bill's not going to automatically change anything.
Mm-hmm.
So the bill needs to include this law. Why wait? Why wait? What is going to be so great about this bill without it? Also, Georgia passed a bill that allows residents of Georgia who feel that they are being attacked by the police and unlawfully arrested or detained have a right to defend themselves.
To what point?
That's not the issue of the point. You have a right to defend yourself however you see necessary.
Okay, yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, to what degree? I guess it would have been.
And you might not want to be guilty for whatever it is you're being arrested for. Okay, people, make sure you understand that.
Yeah. Now, Leonard, you got some folks gonna be wrong as two left shoes on the right foot.
If you believe the arrest is unlawful, you have a right to defend yourself. But it needs to be an unlawful arrest. I already see complications.
Yeah.
So
likewise,
so we need to really look at this bill and make sure that it is what it's supposed to be. That one I'm curious about. Because I do understand the spirit in which it is being done.
So do you think it's coming from a good place?
Well, I think so. However, it has to be tested. And we have to make sure that the bill is in the favor, of the citizen, because you have to be very ethical about it. If you know you're not guilty and doing anything wrong, you have a right to defend yourself.
Exactly.
But it can't be an issue where you forgot about a robbery that you were in, or you didn't realize. Think about it. You didn't realize your driver's license was suspended. Be careful, people.
Yeah.
Be very careful.
And under suspended license, they take you to jail, don't they?
They can. Well, they can take your car, I know for sure. You really shouldn't be operating the vehicle. I think they will tow.
Then I can see some sticky situations in that bill right there. And,
always.
I can see where it has the potential to be very ugly or to get ugly.
Oh yeah,
definitely have the potential.
Like I said, we're not talking about people. If you can pay for an attorney and things like that, that's a great start. But you know how a lot of people do.
Yeah. And
they show up with what they think is not true or so.
Now, let's pull back a couple of layers here. Ain't number one truth. Let's tell this truth. Now, some of our folks, Leonard, just ain't gonna do right.
No.
Some of our folks they're not gonna do right, man.
I wouldn't expect them to.
Yeah, exactly. And so some of them gonna be, like I said, wrong as two left shoes on the right foot, and they're gonna sit there and try to argue their point. No, they're wrong, but they're gonna still sit there and try to argue the point anyway.
And what it really is focusing to try to make officers not engage people under false pretenses.
Yeah. And that's a good thing.
This is what behavior it should be changing. Is these unneeded interactions between law enforcement and people going about their everyday lives. Police don't stop you to tell you good morning.
No.
They don't do that. So hopefully it's going to change the behavior of law enforcement when they engage with the public. Maybe they will stop engaging you without real probable cause. So that's a little theory behind the law. Hopefully. So we'll see.
Then I don't think they're gonna stop you 9 times out of 10 and pull you over and say, "Man, I like them rims." When you come in, where you get them rims from?
Exactly. So you have to remember, hopefully, it addresses the issue of these traffic stops and things like that, where law enforcement interaction has been unnecessary, but it has been lied about. I stopped you because of some lie they made up.
Yeah.
So if they know that the arrest itself is unlawful, the interaction, maybe they won't engage.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll save lives.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
And basically, what I'm hearing you say is hold themselves accountable.
exactly, and that's really the theme of these laws:
Mm-hmm.
accountability,
Yeah.
police accountability. These laws are made to hold police accountable for what they do.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, by them knowing that they will be held accountable, they will change their behavior.
Hopefully, you said that
Hope.
right.
But trust me, probable cause is still there, and everything else. Qualified immunity is still there, and everything else.
Wow. Wow.
So if you and you the citizen, you ain't protecting your life every time you get pulled over from the police.
Mm-hmm.
Just like they ain't protecting theirs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that lie needs to stop.
Now, Leonard, what do you think should be the next step? I think they're trying to move in the right direction, but what should be the next step?
Well, we definitely have to get rid of qualified immunity.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to move to not maybe or if, but police officers don't deserve due process,
Mm-hmm.
in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Due process and qualified immunity don't go together.
Okay.
So this notion that I'm going to protect you from prosecution and telling the truth,
Mm-hmm.
and then you get all the rights of anybody of any other citizen is incorrect. As a military individual,
Mm-hmm.
you're not even governed under the same constitution.
Okay. Let me do this.
You have a code of military justice that takes
Mhm.
over anytime you're in trouble.
Exactly. We have a caller from the 804 area code. 804, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Good morning, Raheem. This is Harold Christian, and I bring you
Hey.
greetings from Glen Allen, Virginia.
Hey, brother, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing very well.
Good deal. Good to have you. Good to have you, brother. We're talking. Leonard is addressing some of the new bills that's passed, and one of them is that the law of police officers have to have a body cam on when they instituting a charging somebody with a crime, if you will, in lack of a better term. How do you feel about that?
I think so, because first of all, it's going to make them think
Mm-hmm.
how they respond to the, I guess you could say, the suspect
Mm-hmm.
or individual, and so it would protect them, but it also will protect the I'll say suspect.
Mm-hmm.
It's not such a bad thing, but my question is, who's going to pay for these body cams? And is this going to be for all of the police officers in the United States? Is it going to be certain areas? And where's the funding coming from?
This particular law is for Texas, and the money is always there.
Okay, all right.
There's never a shortage of money on any of these bills.
So it's probably coming from the taxpayers' dollars. That's basically what I was getting at. But yeah, okay, it's a good thing.
Mm-hmm. Leonard?
What?
No, he said it's coming from the taxpayers' dollars, and that's what the majority of all this is going to come from initially anyway.
Yeah, and I don't care how much justice costs. I'll pay my part.
Mm-hmm. Do you think the majority of the people feel that way?
Well, they pay for everything else. They're paying for injustice.
They really don't have a choice, really, because you can't avoid taxes.
Yeah.
I mean, let you just stay in the house all the time and let somebody else take care of you, and then if somebody else is taking care of you, the tax dollars are coming from somewhere, so you really can't avoid it.
Mm-hmm. So basically, what I'm hearing both of you all say is this is a win-win situation.
Should be.
I believe it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I believe it is, and you definitely have to start somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Now, what do you?
Texas is bold enough to stand up and make a start, and the other states will follow in some way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. A lot of things get their start in either Texas or California. A lot of the times, it starts either in Texas or California is where a majority of the major things that make their way across the United States of America start. What do you think about?
No.
Go ahead.
I would say, no, let's not forget about the East Coast, Washington D.C., sir. But I understand what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What do you
Those
feel,
are the,
Harold? What do you feel about the diplomatic immunity that police have?
Not diplomatic immunity, qualified immunity.
Qualified immunity, yeah, qualified immunity. I don't put them. I don't turn them into aliens or something. But go ahead. Mm-hmm.
well, definitely the qualified. You said qualified immunity, correct?
Yes.
Well, basically, we all know that all that is rooted in slavery and white supremacy, and it's time for those laws to change.
Mm-hmm.
We have evolved as a nation and as a country and as a people. So it's time for those outdated laws to definitely be changed. And so we can have what the Constitution actually says, true liberty and justice for all in the 2000s, okay? And not back in the 1700s when slavery was still enforced by our forefathers, and some of them owned slaves as well.
Mm-hmm. Majority of them actually did. Leonard, I know how you feel about it, brother, but talk to the audience about this qualified immunity. I'm gonna say diplomatic immunity. This immunity as well.
Qualified immunity is simply there to get police officers off for killing individuals. It's a smoke screen. It applies a whole different set of rules to people who they believe, who they've given their right and authority to kill at will.
Let me ask you this question, Leonard. What is and I'm glad you said that way, and I'm glad you addressed it in that manner. What is the difference in that law being in place in the 1700s and now in 2021? Is there any difference in that, in the way that it's viewed and the way they handle it?
No. The intent is the same.
Wow.
Is to provide recourse for individuals given the authority to kill citizens at will.
And majority of the time, which citizens are we talking about?
All citizens.
Black.
But they're predominantly white people using it against black people. But there are other individuals that are not white that are killing individuals as well.
Wow.
So we're especially as an organization, we're against all police brutality.
Exactly. I'm sorry, Leonard. Go ahead, finish your thought. Harold, I'll come to you. So go ahead, Leonard.
As an organization, we're against all police brutality. It does not matter who it is. It does not matter what color you are. It's about holding police accountable for killing citizens.
Good deal. Good. Harold, you was about to say something, brother.
Yeah, sorry, Leonard. I wasn't trying to interrupt you, but absolutely, it just seems like in the black community, it seems to be targeted to the black community, but of course, other races are killed, and of course, I'm sure black officers, killed as well. But it just seems to be, just in your face in the black community. That's why it seems like it's targeted towards the black community, whether it's intentional or unintentional.
And we also have to remember how incarcerated people are being treated.
Yeah.
They kill them regularly as well.
Yes.
So these laws are across the board and dealing with law enforcement's ability to be slave master.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
Yeah.
Is that when given this authority, they just lose it. Some people just are completely unfit for this job for whatever reason. Some of them are racist. Some of them are just wicked.
Yeah.
Some of them just are not good decision makers. And they're not fit for duty. And we have to quit giving them a pass and say, you don't kill the young man. You made a mistake, but you're okay. You couldn't help it.
Go on, let them kill another one if you have to.
Oh, he looks so scary. He's a little boy. Tamir Rice.
Or we thought he had an armed weapon, or she had an armed weapon. Yeah. Or the hoodie, the hoodie.
Yeah. Everything you can imagine that they would use to support killing innocent men, women, and children. Unarmed.
Wow. So what do we do? And I asked the question earlier. I want to revisit it. What do we do about this immunity that they have? How do we get rid of it? It's been in place for so long. How do you get rid of it?
You get lawmakers that are conscious and want to have it removed, and you propose the bill and you move.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is you have
Also,
people
right.
who are not, like say for instance, a champion of civil rights himself out there where you from, right? Clyburn.
Mm-hmm.
He's
Yeah.
been in Congress how long?
Woo.
And he wants to hold up a bill. He wants to remove this issue from a bill and say we can get it next time.
Mm.
You're probably going to be dead the next time it comes up.
See, my thing is, I don't remember Clyburn pulling back like that. He used to be the one to be out in front. Let's
Exactly, and this is
so I
why
don't
it was
understand.
so shocking to everyone. But
Mhm.
then again, he's older.
It depends, and it also depends on what the issue is, Raheem.
Mhm.
as far as the stand that they take.
Mhm.
And also another thing that would help is going to take more people who are, I say, more of people of color who are politically savvy,
Mhm.
/ educated, to speak to other Black and brown people, because there is one person up here in the Washington D.C. area who really reached me politically
Mhm.
and really awakened me to politics
Mhm.
for today, which did clarify some things that I had learned anyway from my my career path. But yeah, it's going to take more well, I'm not just going to say African American, more Black and brown people to stand up and educate us. And then once we're educated, well, first of all, those who have a flexible mindset as well as the ears to hear, then it will awaken something inside of us, I'll say, so we can take a stand, and so we can vote more, and so we can march more, so we can protest more. You see what I'm saying? I believe
Now,
that's
Harold,
thing.
Harold, I
Yeah.
don't mean to cut you off, brother. Let me ask you this question: what do you say to the people, the individuals that believe that marching and protesting and all that stuff is outdated now? That we have to, that worked back in the 60s and the 70s, but now we're in 2021, soon to be 2022. We need to do something different. We need to have another vehicle that we use to navigate our way through this thing.
Okay, killing is not outdated.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first thing I want to say. And the second thing, all those tools are effective. They're all tools. Not only should we march, protest, boycott, we also need to use social media, television, radio.
Yes.
To get our point across as well, and educate. So therefore, we need to expand the way that we get the message across.
Okay. And so you would not agree with that person when they say it's outdated.
Killing's not outdated, like I said at first. Killing is not outdated.
Okay.
It's in your face.
Now, Leonard, what would you say to the person, same conversation, that would say that that worked back in the day, but the killing still has not, you're saying killing is not outdated, but killing has not stopped, and so maybe that means of navigation isn't working.
What would I say?
Yes.
I can't use profanity on your show, right?
No, sir. Please don't.
Okay, get thee behind me, Satan.
The Lord rebuke you.
Somebody said the riding in a Hyundai.
This is the thing. See, this is the thing. Upset, weak individuals will always attack an army on the move if they ain't included.
Wow.
So ask the Palestinians. As the communities around the world that are being treated inhumanely and fighting for just a piece of the rights that we enjoy here.
Mm-hmm.
All over the world, the thousands and thousands of people in the street.
Mm-hmm.
But you trying to tell Negroes, no march no more?
Mm. See,
obviously, you feeling left out. A lot of them be them uppity Negroes.
Yeah. That think they've arrived.
Exactly.
Rico, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Man, I'm doing all right, man. Grand Rising, y'all fellas, man.
Hey, good to have you, brother. Good to have you. Now, Rico, what do you say to that, man? We're talking about the protesting and stuff like that, and I pose a question. What about the individual that will say that protesting was good back in the 60s and the 70s, but we need another vehicle to navigate our way through this thing today? Would you agree or disagree? Or what would you say to that person?
I agree. And see, the thing is sometimes we assume that they're saying stop protesting. They may be saying we need more protest and. See, we like to think that, oh, you trying to denounce what they're doing? That's what got us here. No, what they're saying is it was other factors. There were other actions that we took too that got us here. It wasn't just protest. See, we got to find out why we only protest now. Why is it that we stop doing all the other things? Why is it that we stop voting? Why is it that we stop being concerned with education and excellence? Why did we start chasing the bag and want to be popular and famous and recognized? You know, what did our values change? You know, I like what Harold said, because I've been speaking on this for about the past week. We've been protesting, but when we're going to boycott? That's a form of protesting too. And then when I say boycott, I actually made the post. And somebody came back and said about boycotting. And, you know, I knew immediately where they were going to, because we so brainwashed and Western cooked. White man got us so wrapped up in being rich that the only time we think about boycotting is if we thinking about what we're spending our money on. Let's boycott their ideology. Well, let's boycott their values, their morality. You know, they got a behavior that we have adapted. Let's boycott that. We know what the family structure is supposed to be like. You know, so some people, they so simple-minded because they so wrapped up in what we have can become the value over here, which is becoming successful economically. See, we want to be so financially successful that we put that first. So when we say boycott, we ain't thinking about, well, you know what? Let's just not even send our children to these schools. Let's educate them ourselves and build our own school. Let's segregate ourselves again. But then I think the reason why we can't think like that is because the aggression from the military and police done beat it out of us. So the only thing we know how to do is march peacefully. Ain't nobody saying we're tired of marching. We saying we're tired of seeing marching only. I think that's what they're saying. And I agree. I ain't gonna never say stop marching and stop protesting, but there are other forms of protest. Quit participating. Quit participating in this demonic, wicked mindset of these people that came over here. Number one, we repeating their history with no problem. We repeating the same lies, and then we got to go to college and call ourselves educated off a whole lie. They discovered America. That don't make sense. We still supporting that mess. So now here it is, we participating. We want righteousness and justice in a dysfunctional system built on lies. Built on illusion. I heard a man say the other day, man, we are suffering from mental illusion. That's our problem. That is our big problem. If we get out of this illusion that this way, the American way, is the right way, and we finally wake up on how demonic and greedy this system is, then we could get our minds away from this material and superficial thing that has us blinded. Because like I said, we still stuck on thinking boycotting is not just spending our money somewhere. And that's simple.
Exactly. Leonard, talk to me, brother.
Like I say, I don't wait on other black people to do stuff. There's some people I just don't do business with. Period. Here in Atlanta, we boycott. When we don't like something, we don't like the store, guess what? We set up camp. So, you know, it just depends on what you do, you know, and what you want to do. I'm not waiting on nobody to do nothing.
Let me ask you this question. Should there be another leg to it? I mean, boycotting is fine, and I boycott right along with everybody. If I agree with the cause, I boycott with you. It don't make no difference. Let's do it. But should there be another leg?
I don't know what that means.
Should there be something in addition to boycotting?
Of course, there always is something additional to boycotting.
Mm-hmm.
There's people on the inside sitting at the table trying to keep rules and things from being passed. There are other people that are even, changing their load. Like, say, for instance, NFL.
Mm-hmm.
You notice their presentations look a lot different.
Yeah.
This past season.
Yes. Yeah.
You notice the NBA presentations looks a lot different.
Mm-hmm.
You see people pulling out of certain ventures that were going on here in Georgia as it relates to the voting rights bills and things, and people pulling out and what have you. So that's all a part that's going on. Like I say, I don't wait on other people. I don't expect other people to wait on me.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm not too much going to talk about it if I'm not going to be about it.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
So I appreciate everybody's effort. The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are doing anything, that I'm glad you're doing what you can.
Yeah. And see, what I'm hearing is we have to stand locked arm in arm, regardless of, whether it's protesting on the streets or protesting in the boardroom, or just as long as you're protesting and putting a conscious effort to move everybody forward. That could be a good thing. Harold, what's on your heart?
Well, I just wanted to say good morning to Rico. And Rico, ain't nothing wrong with chasing that bag now. but Rico, I did want to say the bag needs to be used for good.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, to the bag, like I said, there's nothing wrong with chasing it, but that shouldn't be your main focus.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that in all sincerity, because you do need resources. I think that the resources should be reallocated towards fighting these injustices, and also making people aware. For instance, like Stacey Abrams, she is. I mean, she lost the race for governor.
I think it was stolen from her, but go ahead.
Well, no, okay, but that's okay. But Stacey Abrams didn't stop.
Mm-hmm.
She won, and she won that Nobel Peace Prize.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe that we need to reallocate our dollars. That's what we should do. For instance, if we stop spending, of course, you should always save, because you need a savings plan for yourself and your family, and definitely for your future. But also, I think we need to reallocate our dollars to causes that will fight these injustices, and also that support diversity, equity, and inclusion as well.
I got a question.
That's what I wanted to share.
I got a question, and it's slightly off topic, but it stemmed on something that you just said about having the money in the bag to support your family. Majority of the people, and Rico, I'm gonna come to you with this, and we're gonna let everybody speak on it. But majority of the people here in America that have an insurance policy, $100,000, $500,000, $1 million policy, what have you, are they worth more to their family dead than alive? Rico.
Absolutely. If you're asking me, absolutely not.
Hold on. Harold. I said I was gonna go to Rico with that first, and I come right back to you. Rico, what do you say to that?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Say that again.
A lot of the people that has insurance, whether they have $100,000, $500,000, $1 million policy on themselves, and the family is struggling, but they're paying that insurance payment. They're paying that insurance, make sure the insurance is right. Is a lot of these people worth more to their families dead than alive? Because once they die, the people are gonna live a la vida loca with all this money. They got all this money now. Are they worth more than their family dead than more to their family dead than alive?
I mean, that depends on the integrity of the person with the insurance policy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have people that go out here and take care of homeless people and then put insurance policies on them, and then come back and kill them. They had a problem like that in Birmingham a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like 5 homeless people were killed by these people.
Wow.
Some white people that had been being benevolent, like missionaries. that came to America and the missionaries that came to the Caribbean islands. And like the missionaries that went to Hawaii under the name of God, you know what I'm saying? They wanted to be benevolent. So they got these homeless people and they let them drink up. They let them get as drunk as they could. They fed them alcohol. Whatever their disease or their crutch was, they fed it to them.
Mm-hmm.
They hastened that end goal, which was that high insurance policy.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine having $150,000 or $200,000 or $500,000 worth of insurance on a homeless person that don't nobody care about?
Mm.
That's one side of it, but now just think about how rotten it is when people do it in the family. So yeah, in some cases there are people, especially when you get old,
mm-hmm.
and don't nobody want to take care of you because they want to live their best life, but they want to chase the bag.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't got time to take care of old folks. They're gonna throw you in a nursing home.
Yeah.
They might be tired of dealing with you.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it depends on the person. You know, you got good and bad people out here, but I want to clarify this. I don't want nobody to think that I'm against the bag.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's definitely what I don't want nobody to think that I'm against the bag.
Mm-hmm.
But what I want people to realize is that you got to keep that in perspective.
Yeah.
Because if we always come back with telling people ain't nothing wrong with it, you still taking away from the point that was being made. Boycott the education system.
Mm-hmm.
Boycott this male chauvinistic mentality that we have over here.
Mm-hmm.
It's an integrity thing. When you start talking about integrity, you know, it goes beyond chasing the bag. Now, if you chase the bag, hopefully you are spending it in the right place. But I hope you do understand, too, that no matter how much of that bag you got, run across George Zimmerman or Derek Chauvin on the door road one night and ain't nobody around and see if he care what kind of bag you got.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
See if that bag gonna jump out that account and yank that man off your neck. You see, we gotta get our mindset. Don't get me wrong, like I said, don't avoid that. We gotta survive.
Mm-hmm.
But there are so many more issues that take a back seat now, especially in our culture. There are so many more issues that take a back seat that we can't get right because we won't give it enough time to discuss it. We go right back to talking about what we need to spend our money on.
Mm-hmm.
Tulsa spent money. Tulsa didn't stop nothing. Where's Tulsa now? Where's Black Wall Street? Where's Wilmington?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
What do we do to counter that or to rebuild after the government and the military came and did what they did to these black cities?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I mean, you know, it gets to a point where you realize, okay, yeah, we have got to chase this, but we got to make more of an emphasis on letting people know that, man, this is nowhere near enough. Mm-hmm. I don't care how much money you got to get your mind right. Because if you're making all that money, then you still running around here with their same mindset, believing what they believe and acting how they act, classifying and stereotyping people and categorizing people. Man, you doing their job. And sometimes we go walk arm in arm thinking we're doing something to help ourselves, and really and truly we're doing their job for them.
What's the benefit of having $1 million lifestyle and a $2 mind? We have another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? Curtis,
can you hear me?
Yes,
can
sir. Yes, I can hear you.
What's up, bro?
Hey, what's going on, Curtis? How you doing, man?
Nah, I'm all right. You know, making the donuts, baby.
Good deal, good deal. We're talking about right now, Curtis. This is not our topic for today. We're gonna get into our topic in just a few minutes. But we're talking about right now, the immunity that police has. That's one of the things we're talking about. What do you think about that immunity? Should that be done away with?
The what'd you say? The what in the police act?
What's that fancy word for it, Leonard?
Qualified immunity.
Yeah. That's what it is. That fancy word. That qualified immunity.
I knew that's what y'all was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Personally.
Well, would you take me through all that for the end if you knew?
Personally, being honest and truthful,
mm-hmm.
qualified immunity is nothing but white supremacy on steroids.
Mm-hmm.
You have given someone absolute power to be corrupted. Absolutely. Qualified immunity should be thrown out the door. And I guarantee you, I just said this yesterday. If you get rid of qualified immunity, you have already reformed the police department already just by getting rid of qualified immunity. Because a whole bunch of people that are cops will either retire and or quit. Because now they will not have a get out of jail free card.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Harold, what's on your heart, brother?
Okay, I wanted to make a comment about the life insurance policy. You said it's the person worth more dead and alive to their
Yes.
family. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And the answer to that question, in my opinion, it really depends on the type of relationship that the person has with their family. Because in a loving, functional family, the relationships are worth more than the riches. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, and I mean that from the sincerity, of my heart. Now, of course, everyone is going to pass, in this life. Now, there's nothing wrong, but of course, when it's time for a person to pass or expire, or however you want to say, to allow your family to grieve, but not struggle. You see what I'm saying? Now, of course, on the flip side of this, I guess on the darker side, now, of course, on families that are not, they're dysfunctional and hate each other and just being together for the sake of society or the public eye, whatever you want to call it. In some relationships like that, of course, the spouses and sometimes the children are waiting for the policyholder to die. You know what I'm saying? But in cases like that, when you have that much hate in your heart for whatever reason, normally that money slips through your hands as well. So therefore you're careless in the relationship, and then you're careless with the money, and then where do you end up? People do have $1 million insurance policies and spending it up within a year or less. So what you gonna do now?
I think a lot of times what happened is, example, the Melendez brothers. Their parents, I think had the right intentions for their boys, for their sons, but only thing their son Rico saw was that bag, and you know how that ended up. What's on your heart, Rico?
Yeah, they got entitled. They were spoiled. See, the thing is that sometimes people can work hard to build an empire, and then the entitled children don't respect the hard work or even the motivation behind that empire that they built. So now here it is, they got a different agenda because they have a different value. See, that's what happened with Hawaii. What happened with Hawaii, you had so-called missionaries. Like I said, it's a cycle. They did it over here in the whole Western Hemisphere. They have missionaries that went to Hawaii, the Kingdom of Hawaii. I'm going to get a little bit more respect than that because they were already established, had a constitution and everything, had a monarchy. They had the whole setup. Congress, they had all that, representatives. And the missionaries, the good white man, went over there and said, well, you know what? This is such paradise over here, man. Why don't y'all let us come over here and teach y'all about big God? Let me introduce y'all to somebody. We're going to make things better for y'all, even though y'all might be happy. Look like y'all got some stuff going on, but we can modernize y'all a little bit and also save your souls. So they came over and did somebody else said, well, look, all these pineapples they got. They can make some money out there, man. You know what? If y'all sold this and manufactured and just created some income from it, you can start building over here. Matter of fact, let's start doing. So they did it. They started making money. Then they came back and they said, well, you know what? There's much more money that can be made in Hawaii. But the people in Hawaii said, well, no, what y'all trying to do? Y'all trying to go up on our sacred ground. We can't do that up there. So that's enough. We ain't that greedy for money. We like to do it. We like the economy. We like capitalism. You know what I'm saying? It helps. But we don't like it that much to violate our ancestors and our sacred grounds. So what America did, they came back. They spoke to Congress, and Congress realized the resources that were available in the Kingdom of Hawaii, and they snuck over there with their warships and took it. Made the woman sign over. Made the head. It was a woman.
Yeah, queen.
She was over her wife. She was the queen.
Mm-hmm.
Made her sign over everything. Made everybody release everything. Now you got the Doles, Bob Dole family. They were part of them.
Yeah.
See, but it wasn't the original missionaries. It was their children. It was their children. See, the original missionaries had respect. Now maybe the children heard certain conversations at home behind closed doors and let them realize that it was an ulterior motive.
Mm-hmm.
So they went with the ulterior motive. But the missionaries at first appeared to be more respectful. It's the ones, the children, the grandchildren, the rich ones that reaped that benefit, the entitled ones, that felt like they didn't have to respect the past or the history of Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
That it was better for the benefit of America financially. Because there was too much resources over there going to waste. So I mean, you know.
And see, and who's to say what's going to waste on somebody else's land? You know, that's crazy to me.
That's right.
That's crazy. You know,
well, it depends on what your value is. If you value that reserve note and now you trade it, then you see another way you could get some of that reserve note yourself by taking these people's land forcefully.
My thing is this right here. If somebody came on my property where I live and say, man, look here, man, you got all this stuff. We got all this land over here, man. You got all this space that we could do something with, man. We gonna take it, man. Look here. Our topic today is, will you pull the trigger? And I will pull that trigger, brother. Get off my property. Get off my land. Who are you to come and tell me what I'm doing on my land? But that's just how that's the American way, y'all. That's the American way.
You said something key. You pull the trigger.
Yeah.
But since colonialism, you haven't nobody's been able to pull the trigger against the most violent, weaponized people on the planet. They ain't had enough triggers to pull.
Exactly.
That's the elephant in the room. I don't care what you do. When the devil get mad, he gonna start dropping bombs, and your dollar ain't gonna mean nothing then. But they'll have plenty of them to come back and rebuild if you ain't black.
Exactly. Toya with a T. Good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Morning. Hello, family.
Hey, how you doing, sis? You good?
All
right, good deal. Now we're talking about this whole. I guess we transition right now to the colonialism and how America went over there and took Hawaii. And I lived in Hawaii for 4 years, and he said something about those. Man, they got a lot. Man, look here, they got fields of pineapples over there, man. And back when I was over there, if you went in that field and you just pulled up one pineapple, they'll charge you $500 for one pineapple. Man, that's an expensive pineapple. That's the way of keeping you off their property, so you don't go and try to take their property, take their land, much like they did to Hawaii. So, Toya, what's on your heart?
Hey, man, that's unfortunately the human's way of living, right? But you know, the sad part is that you got a Most High, and when you deal with Him, that's your only way out. That's your only way out. Most High is the only one that can do something against forces like that. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do, though. We divide and conquer if we want to do something as humans. When we want something, we divide and conquer. We don't ask. So that's like the nature of the American beast. That's why we are in control, because of what they do. Is it right? Nope. But I'm in.
Did we lose you?
No, I'm here.
Okay.
I said, no, we in America. So, I mean, hey, we're protected. As long as we're in America, that's what they do. But it's unfortunate. I mean, it's the way that Americans create, you know, their strength, their legacy, their name. You got to be the biggest bully on the block. That's what we are, you know, and it's proven through centuries that that's what this is about. You got to be the strongest. You got to be the fastest. You got to go ahead and get it done. And that's what America does, man. So it's like, we don't know what to say, because do we want to forfeit this? Because it can happen to us too.
Exactly.
But this is the strength that they carry. So, I mean, hey, it is what it is, but I'm still Team America. You got to do what you got to do. Either you're going to be the big fish or you're going to be the 8 fish.
Wow. That's good. Let's jump on our topic for a second. We got a topic here, and I want to get this topic going. Let me see. I'm trying to get my ticker going right here. But Curtis, I'm going to come to you first. Kurt, you there? Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Kurt, let me ask you a question. In this thing called life, situations and adversities happen sometimes. We find ourselves in situations that sometimes are not favorable. If you find yourself in one of those situations, Kurt, what would be a situation? And the question is, would you pull the trigger? What would be a situation where you would have to pull the trigger?
What you mean? What would be a situation where I have to pull the trigger?
And you got that fire in your hand, man. Something is going down. What would have to happen for you to pull that trigger?
Man, a person would have to violate everything that I believe in.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I believe in life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. I believe in that.
Mm-hmm.
So it would have to violate all of that. And or I believe in life. So if somebody was trying to take my life or take the life of somebody that I love, and I got the means to get that, it's a wrap. They done.
Mm-hmm.
God forgive me. I hopefully St. Peter let me in.
Mm-hmm.
But just an overall violation of my humanity.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Now, question, Kurt, would you be able to carry that body?
Huh?
Would you be able to carry that body?
Yeah.
Huh?
Thank you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because of my life?
Yeah, you have to carry that body for the rest of your life, man. Would you be able to carry that body?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's a body that you're going to carry in righteousness.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Moses carried a body.
Mm-hmm.
We can't forget Moses was a murderer.
Mm-hmm.
A homeless murderer.
I've seen people.
Right?
I've seen people that once they take a life, they carry their body and mentally they can't carry that. They can't adapt to that because they and I heard them say that. I heard it say that the person is following me. The person is following me, and it's a lot more tied into having to carry that body than just the surface of it. So and a lot of people just can't carry that body. Let me go to Toya with a T. Toya with a T. Would you be able to pull the trigger?
No,
Go ahead, Kurt. Go ahead.
Hey, Rod, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
You're right, Mom.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
It's true. You got to work through it. You know what I mean? You find your just cause in what you did.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? The ones that's really, really affected negatively is the ones that can't find just cause. When you can't find just cause, that means you maliciously took a life.
Mm-hmm.
But when you can find just cause, like the guy in remember the guy in Texas that walked in and the dude was raping his daughter?
Yeah.
And he chased the dude down and killed him with his bare hands.
Mm-hmm.
He gonna carry that for the rest of his life, but he has just cause.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like he had to do what he had to do. So I feel you. I see where you're going, man. Let me go on and get back in here, man. I love y'all, man.
Hey,
y'all
love you as well.
Down, T. You take care of yourself. Call me, T, if you need me.
Toya with a T?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What's going on now?
That was deep. That conversation, right? Carrying that body, because at the end of the day, we use Moses, right? Moses reacted because he was a human. He couldn't stand to see what they were doing. I don't think he even knew that they were his people. But I know he just couldn't stand to see the torture and the beating that was going on, and he kind of snapped and did that, right? But even if that was against one of God's rules, he had to forgive himself, and God had already forgiven him.
Mm-hmm.
Moses stayed for wilderness, I think, for an extent, because something like what he just said, you couldn't deal with or let go, which is all good. But again, it's only the Most High that can help you go through that. It's not about murdering with your hands, because God said if you thought it, you did it, right? So, and I'm going to use an example. All the things that I've been through and the way I would kill people, and I'm going to say men, because I would use them up.
Mm-hmm.
Do what I want to do. Use what? It's not that. And I could take that as a type of killing, breaking up a spirit or something like that. But no, I had to forgive myself.
Mm-hmm.
I had to be forgiven. I had to allow God to forgive me through whatever it was, because I had reason to kill. I've been hurt. I've been molested. This what men are. But no, God don't operate like that. You don't take your wrath and spread it around all over the place like that. That's what he do. You know what I mean? So again, definitely when it comes to carrying the weight of life, some things you just have to surrender to the Lord, because we're not built to deal with it. We were never meant to murder. We were never meant to deal with murder.
Yeah.
However, we were built to be forgiven and renewed regardless of all things. And that's what we need to focus on, man. This world, man, these people, we humans in this world, let me tell you something, we can justify anything, right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? The spirit knows the truth, and that's the problem dealer. So at the end of the day, you better get your spirit right with the Most High, because the Most High is the only one that can reset whatever your mindset, whatever the renewing that you need. He is the only one that can reset it. I could not forgive myself for being molested, and I could forgive myself for doing all the terrible things that I did to me because I knew they was wrong. But it was God. He helped me reset and forgive myself so I can pick up and move on. Leave them dead bodies where they are, honey. You see what I did to Paul? Okay, you ain't no better than him, honey. Leave them dead bodies where you are. Pick up, move on, and let's start over. So if they trapped up in them bodies, you're gonna drown. And that's what you gotta do.
Wow. Rico, what do you say to that, brother? Can you pull the trigger? And will you be able to carry the body?
I ain't gonna speak from a personal point of view. I'm gonna speak from other points of view of people that I know that couldn't sleep with that body. They couldn't deal with it. They messed around and told on themselves.
Wow.
I had a homeboy that he killed his best friend. Man, it's crazy down here where I'm from. Man, I got people that kill their twins and their oldest brothers and kill their best friends. And this one here, man, he killed his best friend. He told me before he done it that he felt like doing it. So when the friend came up missing, I already knew what was up. He told me, like, man, I love Lamar, but sometimes Lamar be messing me up, man. He be messing me up. He get on my nerves. And then I found out that, Lamar wasn't one of them type people that like to show out when he got around people. He wanted to fit in with whatever the crowd was. And sometimes he turned on his friend to impress the other people. And he knocked this dude's tooth out one time. So that was some animosity he had built up in him. And this was his best friend, like I said, man. I mean, it was times that we left the clubs at night, man, and it would be me and maybe 4 strippers by myself. Dudes left and right want to come around with me. I wouldn't take them. I'd take him and Lamar with me, because I knew they knew how to party. Well, Lamar came up missing. First thing came to my mind, man, this boy done killed him. He told me he felt like killing him. He done killed him. He been missing the whole weekend. I ain't gonna never forget it. It was Labor Day weekend. They found his body. When they found his body, I knew where they found his body at. He did it. He did it. We don't talk too much. I know about this road. So months and months went by. He messed around. He got arrested. And he was off. They still couldn't prove he had done it. They went and got the car painted and this and that. But it got to a point where he couldn't sleep at night. Every time he closed his eyes, he hear his friend holler. He would hit him with shots. They say he lit him up about 30 times.
Good Lord.
So, okay. He decided he wants to go talk to a preacher. And the preacher was the one that ended up telling on him. But see, this is the thing about it. If a person has hope, then they love life. And if a person loves life, they have a conscience. And when you have a conscience, it hurts you to kill somebody even when you got to defend yourself. Even when you don't have a choice, it still hurts you to take a life. You hate you had to do that to that person. Why wasn't they better? Why did they try to steal from me? Why did they try to hurt me? Why did they make me do this? That conscience won't allow you to sleep and carry that body sometimes, but you know what'll happen. Once you do learn to sleep and you can get over it, the next body is a lot easier to carry.
Wow. So once you do it, it becomes easier.
Like anything else.
Wow. Leonard, what do you say to that? Can you pull the trigger, and would you be able to carry that body?
Most definitely. That's not. I don't. It's not. Wouldn't be an issue for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because one, I mean, I don't care more for my enemies than myself.
Mm-hmm.
What do you expect me to do? Sit there and negotiate with you?
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, I'm not coming to kill you. You got killed coming to do me some wrong. A life for a life.
So you met it. So they met it. They met it and coming. Yeah, they met it and coming.
So I'm not. Why would I hesitate?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because you're trying to kill me. I come from a place where folks kill each other readily.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't. All this foolishness that people used to talk about. Well, you didn't have to kill him or what? Shut up.
Mm-hmm.
Shut up. He wasn't in your house.
Yeah. Would you rather have the roles reversed? Would you rather the roles be reversed and the other person be laid on that?
Thank you. I'm sick of people having this affection for evildoers.
Mm-hmm.
They don't do nothing but lie, steal, and kill. You can sit around and talk about, I couldn't do this. Like, don't worry, somebody do it to you. Because ain't nobody going to break in your house and this, that, and the other while you sleep coming to do you no good.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I always question, like, I wish Kurt was still on because I'm not sure if Kurt is a ranger or not, but he's a combat soldier.
I think Kurt is still with. Kurt, you still with us? I know he still got the line.
Like he said, he had to get back.
Yeah, he had to go. But anyway, I know a lot of combat soldiers that have the same issue.
Yeah, his line is still here though. His line is still open.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I know combat soldiers who have the same issues, and they deal with it because they simply were not prepared to do what they knew they were going to have to do.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't, you have to weigh that option when you even are going to enter the military or have some type of plan for it. But I'm not for killing innocent men.
Mm-hmm.
See, I'm not for killing innocent men.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have this undying affection for people that seek to do me ill will. I don't care how old you are. I don't care what color you are. You can get it.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just, I mean, I don't, I understand other people's points of view as well.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I question why my ancestors wasn't killing more white folks, but maybe they had a regard for human life. I would love, this would be great. I would love for Pastor Chris to call.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To give us an African perspective. Is there a higher regard for would there have been a higher regard for life on the side of the African, which allowed him to not kill at will his oppressor? Or was it just fear of being killed themselves and their families being killed? You can't be attached to life till you'll allow yourself to be degraded.
Wow. Toy, with a T, what's on your heart?
Hey, those are some valid points, man. I mean, I don't think we understand. I think about Cain and Abel and the precedent that was
come
set
on,
the blood, because we know no better. But it lets you know about human nature from beginning.
Thank you.
I mean, even if we talk about the spirit, look at the devil and the Lord. Even in spirit, we ain't gonna do right now. I don't want to do this, Lord. You don't know what you're doing. I'm gonna go over here and do my own thing. Like the spirit and the nature of a human being, man.
Yes.
It's something else I don't think we don't understand. And I don't think that we understand the precedents that we set when these things happen. When Leonard just said that about my family, right? I often think about myself. I said, you know what, Lord? I couldn't have been done by then because they would came and they would slaughter us all. Fooling with me? I would have came and slaughtered us all. Hey, yeah, you said you want some extra? Sure, let's go in the house, master. And I would have chopped him all up, ate him, swallowed it, honey, and they'd have been looking for the little brown girl, and they would have came and got all my people. Because I wasn't going to give in. I wasn't going to turn up. I'm going to take out as many as possible. But I thank the Lord today for helping me see that kind of clarity. Because I was so crazy. All bets was off. I don't care. But I got to think about the opposite. I got to think about others. Somebody told me in my hometown the other day, you got to be careful what you be saying on Facebook because you don't stay here no more. You don't stay down here no more. So certain things I started letting up off of because I'm still like, man, I'm still about that life. I don't care about no cop, no officer, no age, no limitation, no color, no this, no that. Once you operate outside the guidelines of positivity, I'm gonna get on that level too. Let's go. But I've also learned, let me reel it back in because the fate of it's like yesterday, that influence. I'm working on a cigar. I don't want to influence that ghetto gangster behavior, even if it's in there. It's still in there. So it's like, I don't think we understand the precedent. And when we're talking about something such as murder, when I think about my ancestors, I feel like they had to die so we can live, man. Like so many things would be different had they did it differently because them guys been playing. They come take out everything in this fast. You, the kids, the animals, the dogs, trees, the wind, the birds, the bees, everything. You know what I'm saying? So, but I get it. And I think today, that's what we rise with. We rise with the spirit of our ancestors right now. That's why we was in the street and we didn't care what you do. You can shoot us, you can salt pepper us. Like we're finally over to our core, to our spirit with the murder of black people. And people got up everywhere. I believe that's that spirit that transferred over and it's rising in us just right now today. The spirit of all the death that has never been accounted for, the spirit of the people who lost loved ones has never been accounted for. Some people got away, some people never made the jail. That spirit right there is going to be exactly what's taking us over the top. It's going to be the giant bullseye, the rock in the slingshot, man. But it's the precedent that we set. It's something that'll make somebody grow up and want to come back and get you when they're older in life and you don't forgot about it. And their great grandkids then came and took you out because you didn't understand the precedent you were setting with that stone or that gun.
Exactly.
And Raheem, I wanted to also comment because Toya hit it dead on the head on what I was going to say. Because I believe that people need to really look at this duality, and there's duality in everything. And you can do this and you can do that, but I'm a man. Before I'm a Christian, before I'm black, before I'm anything else, I'm just a man. Now, you Christians who read your Bible, if 4 people was alive and one of them killed the other, that's a man problem. That's a man issue. It has nothing to do with what's going on. And, a lot of people say, well, programming and this. No. It is the nature of man to do evil. It is the nature of man to do what he does. So you can get rid of all the white people in the world. You're going to still have evil black folks. So we have to understand, we have to work on ourselves. But we also have to be clear about man. You're a man. So one, that's another man. Right? What makes you think that he does not value his life just as much as you do? Or what makes you think he should devalue his life for your life? Murder comes about from simple disagreements. It ain't no complex programming and all this. Simple disagreements can lead to murder.
Yes.
Just being disrespected. Guy walks up, just to feel like he being disrespected, shoots everybody at the table. That's the nature of man.
Wow.
That's the nature of man.
Or sickness.
People been killing since people been breathing. So sometimes we have to be realistic about a thing. Now, one is a difference between self-defense and all these types of things, and that's why we talk about like qualified immunity, permission to kill, and not be accountable. That's basically what you're giving law enforcement. Other government officials have qualified immunity as well to do what they want. So this qualified immunity thing was always set up to give somebody the edge over somebody else that devalued somebody else's life in exchange for someone else's.
Let me read what our public citizen said through Twitch. He said, hope is a empathy. Okay, is an empathy. I am with the idea. I am with that idea of a person without hope. Does not even know, even think he have a soul, even think he has a soul. I know I can't pull the trigger, but that is nothing to be particularly proud of. There is a little beast in all of us, in all of our hearts.
I could pull the trigger, pull the arrow, pull the knife, anything.
Mm-hmm.
For the very simple fact, I value my life.
Mm-hmm. But the beginning of this thing, and I can really go to the letters are so small on my screen, I couldn't really see it. But it says in the beginning, he said, "Our hope is a precursor for empathy." Do you agree with that, Enrico?
I gotta agree with it. I was the one said it first.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? If you got some kind of hope, then you got some kind of love of life. You love all life if you got some kind of hope, and if you love life, you got a conscience. All that plays a part in empathy.
Mm-hmm.
So even in self-defense, even in protection, some people are so loving of life that they hope the best. They hope people change. They wish people would be better. They wish everybody was good.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't want to see nobody in pain. Sometimes even though this person you kill may be bad, their mammy wasn't bad. Their children wasn't bad. Or who knows? Maybe they were. Maybe you did them a favor. Maybe he was the poison. I don't know. But the thing is in the back of your mind, you don't know that. All you know is that you took a life and somebody might be sad behind this. And it's hard for you to sleep with that. But, I'm gonna twist the question around because, I'm the one that always say words ain't nothing but sound to come out your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think the question was if we were confronted with these issues, would we pull the trigger?
Yes.
Well, sometimes we ain't got to be the one in danger. What was that trigger for George Floyd? If you had pulled up on Ahmaud Arbery running in the middle of the road with them boys on that back of that truck shooting him, would you have pulled out your gun and shot, or would you have just watched and recorded? See, we see a lot of people record. Mm-hmm. It's hard for me to believe that so many people would pull the trigger, but actions show that they'll rather record. I ain't seen nobody help nobody yet. And then when they do, like it's been a few cops that helped innocent people when other cops went overboard, they got fired. But, it's just really interesting because I know a lot of people will say, yeah, I'm going to pull the trigger. But, man, I'm going to tell you something. It's hard sleeping at night. Mm-hmm. It's easy to say a lot of stuff until you done been through it. And some people have done, like Timothy McVeigh. And he's a racist. It's crazy that I'm going to bring his name up. But he went over in the military and he made a headshot that got him a lot of recognition, man. And, he said he was sort of a misfit, but this day that he made this headshot, everybody started congratulating him, man. It was like they couldn't believe the shot that he made. It was spectacular. And he said he felt good at first. He was like, man, I made that shot. I blew his head off like that. Yeah. Then he thought about it, man, I just blew that man's head off. He ain't going home.
Yeah.
His children going to be wondering where he is. Mm-hmm. His mom going to be wondering where he is. I just killed a man I did not even know. For somebody else, some reason that they claim might be true. I don't know if it's true or not, but I just killed a man, and then all of a sudden I get home, and I got somebody in my backyard that might violate me, and I can't do nothing to him. I can't shoot him. I can't even beat him with a bat. Mm-hmm. So he lost. He lost it somewhere. He didn't have a middle ground anymore because he started realizing that we are under the influence of an illusion over here in this country. We're living under the influence of an illusion. And some people realize it, so they rebel because they get mad. See, why can't I defend myself and hurt the next man when he violates me and get away with it? Why can't I get qualified immunity? But then when I go over here to another country and kill somebody I ain't got a clue about who they are, we might have a lot in common. I got to kill somebody I don't know nothing about. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's really easy to just say that, okay, yeah, I will do that. But I'm going to tell you something, man. It's hard, man. It's hard sleeping at night. Mm-hmm. But honestly, like I said, when you do learn to cope, that's the key word I'm trying to think of. When you cope, when you learn to cope with it, when you can't sleep, then, man, heaven be with whoever else cross you.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And there's a lot of layers, man, because I know I've actually talked to people, and they've talked to me, man, and I would never repeat what they said to me, nor call out their name or anything like that, because that's not how you operate. But they told me, man, I've done something, Raheem, man, and it's hurting me, man. It's hurting me, and I was like, what you mean? What you talking about? And then in talking, they say that they had to do something to somebody, and I better shut up, man, because they might call me as a witness or something. But yeah, it's there's a lot tied in there, man. Honestly speaking, I don't know if I would be able to do it. It would have to be a situation. It would have to be a situation whereas one of my family members or something like that is life is being about to be taken or something, and I have no choice.
Well, would it have to be a family member? Could it be George Floyd?
It could be very well be George Floyd. It could very well be him, because like Leonard said, a life for a life, and sometimes in order to reserve a life, you got to take a life. I don't think he just
like Ma'Khia Bryant.
Exactly. So to answer your question, no, I say family member because that's who's real close to me, but it don't have to be. If I see somebody in a situation, now truth of the matter, I might shoot a warning shot first. Yo, stop, wow. Waste one in the air. But if it don't change, then you might have to do what you got to do. And that's and truth of the matter is unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. I just missed a call from somebody. Call back in. I just missed your call. Call back in. 678-381-1973. Yes, sir.
I like what Curtis said, though, man, about finding a way to justify it.
Mm-hmm.
See, the thing is, when it comes to righteousness, if you think deep and hard enough, you know what I'm saying? It's funny because, I'm the one that always say that God got soldiers and God got killers. Some people get mad when I say that. But see, you have to justify what you do sometimes. I mean, you just can't be out here doing stuff to innocent people. But, we don't, because I know Toya going to come back at this one. We don't have the right to determine who can live or die.
Yeah.
But in some cases, you are actually doing the world a favor.
Mm-hmm.
You're actually saving lives. Imagine taking this one person out there that has an ambition to kill 20 people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow. Our phone lines are blowing up. We got three callers that just came in. I think one of them is Donald Toussaint. Toussaint, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning? Everybody, hold on. I'm going to come to you in just 1 second, callers. Asking the question, Toussaint. You find yourself in a situation where things are going pretty sour, and to the point where you have to take your gun out to stop a situation for somebody hurting you or hurting somebody that's close to you. Could you pull the trigger?
If I had, ain't no use to me waste no bullet. I heard you say shooting in the air, bullets are high.
Wow.
But I'm just saying.
Wow.
Don't waste it, because there's a shortage if you don't know it. They're buying them up.
Mm-hmm.
And they got a land.
I'm trying to tell you.
Wow.
And
you can't wait. You can't waste one. You can't waste one in the air.
No, don't waste it. I'm just telling you, you're gonna need it later on.
Wow.
I'm just saying. Excuse me. Make it your consequences.
Mm-hmm.
You might need that just one. Oh, it's in the air. No, it ain't. It's laying somewhere.
Yes, sir.
Unfortunately, it might land in the wrong place. Where you say, well, I just shoot in the ground. Don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying. But anything, whatever you do, there's going to be consequences.
Now, see the thing about
it.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Don. Go ahead.
No. There's a multitude of people that's going to be affected by whatever you do.
Mm-hmm.
If you decide not to, let's see. Didn't that happen recently, where the police officer made a conscious decision to save a life and take a life?
Mm-hmm.
And everybody was in uproar because evidently he was trying to save a life. But at the time that he tried to save a life, he took a life. Mm-hmm. It was a lose-lose situation.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody gonna be upset.
Exactly.
Because hey, if we just wait it out, then that may be consequences too. Mm-hmm. So whatever you do, you better make your mind up right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, if you get in a predicament, well, there's only one alternative. You don't have to do what you got to do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm
gonna read what our public citizen said. He said that and it's real small, so I'm trying to read it. You know, y'all bear with me. I ain't got my glasses on this morning. It's better to be a warrior in the garden than a gardener in the war zone. I saw a video of a woman getting strangled on the street, and all these men just walked by. Total cowardice. Total cowardice. Wow, we got another caller from the we got 732 area code and 770. We coming to you next. 732 area code. What's your name? Where you calling from? Hello?
Hey.
Is that Christopher? Is that you, brother?
Yeah, that's me.
Hey, tell everybody where you calling from.
I'm
You're breaking up just a little bit, brother. You're breaking up a little bit on us. You're breaking up.
Breaking up a lot of it.
Wow, divine.
What you say?
Hey, Ryan, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Leonard was just asking about you.
Okay.
Leonard was just asking about you.
You were?
Leonard was. But let me.
Okay, how you doing, man?
Hey, doing good, doing good. Definitely glad to have you this morning, man. We're asking a question about if you find yourself confronted in a situation whereas yourself or someone else is in danger to the point where you have to reach for your gun, and you reach for your gun and you grab your gun. Could you pull the trigger?
I can't pull the trigger because I've never pulled the trigger before. Never had a gun before, so that was not an option in my life.
Mm-hmm.
So owning a gun has never crossed my mind. So I can't answer that question because I've never pulled a gun. I can't even imagine killing somebody. I can't,
Mm-hmm.
I hope I'll never find myself in a situation where I want to hurt somebody or kill somebody, but I don't have a gun.
Mm-hmm.
Never had one and don't plan on having one.
How much of a fight, internal fight would it be for you, Christopher, to even point that gun at somebody?
It will be a whole lot of fight.
Mm-hmm.
I think my mind cannot fathom killing somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask him a question?
I don't know what's going to put me to the point where I say I got to take another person's life,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You say, I don't know, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
like, that's me. I've never been in a place where I thought about picking up a weapon and using it against someone,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I've been here for 50, going to almost 60 years. I've
Mm-hmm.
never taken anything to harm another human being. I've
Mm-hmm.
never. People have done stuff to me. I've been in a place where somebody have hurt me, but I've never had that mindset to hurt them back. I don't know why, but
Mm-hmm.
that's just me,
Yeah, exactly. Leonard, Christopher, Leonard wanted to ask you a question. Go ahead, Leonard.
Good morning, Pastor Chris. I specifically would hope you would call today to ask you. I know you say
Really?
you've been here maybe 60 years. Where are you from, actually?
I'm originally from Nigeria.
Right, that's what I thought. Now, is it an African perspective that places a higher value on human life than, say, an American perspective?
I don't really quite understand your question. Ask it again so I can make sure I get your question. Go ahead.
Do people value life more in Africa than they do here in America? Is that right, Leonard?
Do they value life more? No. They value people more, but at the same time, they can take life more easily than anywhere else in the world. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I'm trying to connect that because Christopher, I'm trying.
Well, the police ain't always coming, Raheem.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but my thing
there's
is
no police to call. That police always
Exactly.
yeah, but my issue is this
there's no
though.
911 to call.
Okay, but my
In a lot of places.
thing is this right here, and this where my little confusion is. You say they value life more, but they're more apt to take a life. That's two sides of the coin right there.
Yeah. It is two sides. Like the value that a man. Okay, take for instance. You ask me, does an Italian value life a lot?
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
But the same Italian that values his family, places tremendous value on his family, will cut your throat when you attack his family with no second thought. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So does he value life more? But in one situation, he values life to the highest possible proportion that you can think. But in the other situation, he can snap a life for nothing, for $1. You step on his toe and he can kill you for $1. You killed that guy because he took your $1, you know?
Yeah.
But here's your daughter, and you place such tremendous value on their life that you will do anything to protect them. So you understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah. I see
that's the same person.
Mm-hmm.
Places tremendous value on a life in one end, but on the other end, he sees like, oh, this is that's a life, but to me, it's nothing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the disparity that's here, you know. So how can you compare that? In one society, somebody will hurt their daughter, they will hurt their son, you know.
Mm-hmm.
They will they'll do terrible things to their family member. So, and in another society, a man will do anything to protect their family.
Mm-hmm.
But how can you compare both societies? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
You know, so that's where I'm coming from, you know. So I can't answer the question with this values more, because there are situations where people in Africa place tremendous value on life.
Mm-hmm.
But there are also situations they will kill you because you're from a different tribe. You're not from the same tribe, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You speak a different language. They'll kill you just for nothing, you know?
Wow.
So that's the
skinny.
What do you call it?
That's the skinny right there. That's the skinny. We got another call.
I answer your question?
Yes, sir. You did. We got another caller from the 770 area code. What's your name? Where you calling from? 770 area code. You there? Now, I'm not gonna call your whole number.
Yes, I am, Raheem.
Okay.
Good morning, Raheem. This is Sideria.
Hey, Sideria, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing good. And you?
Hey, doing well. Sis, I need to know, could you pull that trigger? You've been listening to the conversation for a minute. Want to hear your heart. Can you pull that trigger?
I have.
Can you pull that trigger?
I'm like the gentleman you just talked to.
Mm-hmm.
I have never owned a weapon, ever. So answering from the perspective of someone who had a gun and purchases it for the purpose of their protection or hunting, I don't have either one of those mindsets, because I'm not hunting anybody down. And as far as protection, and a person can call me foolish, I just believe God protects me from other people's stupidity.
Mm-hmm.
And for as long as I've lived, and with some of the things I've done and some of the situations I've been in, that has proved to be true. Now, could I pull a trigger? I had one experience of shooting a gun on New Year's. And just, my brother had a gun. We were shooting a gun up in the air on New Year's. And just that experience frightened me.
Mm-hmm.
And it frightened me for this reason, because I felt the power of the gun. And I thought, wow, this is what people use to take other people's lives.
Mm-hmm.
And and even though I had never owned a gun, I made a conscious decision at that point. I never wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
One, my temper was too bad, and I knew I would kill someone. And two, I didn't believe as a human being that God intended for me to have that much power to take someone else's life. So that's my take on it.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Rico, talk to me, brother. What's on your heart?
I was about to get ready to get online, man, but I'm gonna go ahead and talk then I get online. Man, Shadarius knocked it out of the park then. Her and Reverend, what's the name? Charles?
Christopher.
Man, they knocked it out the park. You know, and that was pretty much one of the points that I wanted to make earlier. You know, when I talk about hope, a conscience, and loving life, some people love life so much that they want everybody to be peaceful and happy. They don't want to cause anybody any harm. They don't want nobody. They don't even want to be responsible for hurting other people's feelings. Some people can't even sleep when they know they hurt somebody else's feelings or somebody they disappointed somebody. So, you know, with this question, we on a Christian network. I'm gonna ask anybody: do they think Jesus would have pulled the trigger? I don't think he would have. I don't think he did. You know, and so some people actually live by that motto. What would Jesus do?
Yes.
Some people, man, I believe. I ain't gonna say I believe it. I know people that are so peaceful. You might want to call them soft. They don't have a violent bone in their body. I've seen people take punches to the face and kicks in the butt and slaps and not do nothing. I had to take up for them. And you ask yourself, why? Some of these people are big brutes. Some of them are football players. You know that, man, they bench pressing 400 pounds. They could throw this man through a wall if they want to, but they gentle giants. Because they really do believe in God and they love life. See, if you believe in God, you're really supposed to love life. So, but see, you remember earlier when I was talking about boycotting?
Yes.
And I was talking about colonization. Guess what type of behavior we done picked up? Because I'm pretty sure, you know, we could say that's an African thing or American thing. That's a human thing, loving life and not wanting to kill. But being that Africa still has more of a humane behavior about itself over there, and they are in westernized like we are. You know what I'm saying? It's easier for us to assume that they're just more peaceful.
Yeah.
But you have Gandhi type people over here in the United States. You got Mother Teresa type people over here in the United States that don't and won't lift a hand. They'll take that slap in the face. Hosea Williams got spit on. Martin Luther King. They didn't pick up no gun. We want to be nonviolent. So now here it is. Us Americans, we got to make a choice, especially us Black Americans.
I tell you one thing.
Are we going to be humane, or are we going to be? Are we going to take on the culture and the mindset of the beast?
Now I tell you one thing. They're not going to slap or spit on Malcolm.
Say that again.
I said they're not going to slap or spit on Malcolm.
Spit on Toya either. They're not going to spit on Toya and me either. Ain't got to be Malcolm or Martin either. Where they do that at? No. Jesus died for me.
So what?
That rifle was Photoshop, huh?
So what's the middle ground? I mean, you know what I'm saying? If you got to live like Jesus to get to heaven, then what you gonna do when that beast comes to you? Like you said, you gonna pull the trigger? Because I don't think Jesus did.
Come on now, stop it.
Stop. I'm just asking what you gonna do. Oh, you know where I stand with it. You know where I stand with it.
Hold on, can't hear both of you. Can't hear both of you at the same time. Go ahead, Toya.
Why? I want to know, why do we use Jesus and what he did? I mean, listen to the story. It ain't nobody but him. He did that for a reason, for a purpose, God for all our sins, right? But why do we correlate that with not defending ourselves? God ain't raised no punk. God ain't got no punk. If you feel like you don't want to fight, you don't have to fight. But you can do it in Jesus' name. And when I get ready to do whatever I got to do, I'm going to do it in Jesus' name. Like, I'm not going to, no human. And I had to go through this, right? Because the Lord dealt with me about my parents and their position, about government, their position, husbands, and nobody get to put their hands on me and want to hold me to a certain law. You're not going to bust me in my face and come rape me and kill my kid and come talk to me about what would Jesus do. No, you're not. You don't represent Jesus. You represent a devil. And when I hear stuff like that, I think, oh, who you said I was, Lord? Moses? Who you said I was, Lord? Saul, Paul? Who you need me to be? The rock, the slingshot, or David? Let's consume violence in spirit. No, you're not. He said all things. He didn't say some things. He said, oh, yeah, you can use me in all things except for when they come try to take over. He can't buy that. Man, you gotta stop correlating this religion as self-defense. No, man. No. When God wake me up in the morning, he's going to completely guide me in what I do. And I ain't never remembered being guided to be under the hand of the guy who raped me when I was 9 years old. But I do remember him stepping in and giving me the strength when I was 19 and the guy caught me with a pistol and he raped me. I do remember him giving me enough calmness to say, Toya, that he got a gun. You need to wait till you get away. And then when it came later, I ain't gonna talk about what we did because he lived in the same project. When it came to later, what my people did was what they did. You know what I'm saying? Even to the point to where the man beat me with a belt, and I returned it into being. You understand what I'm saying? You're not gonna define my Christianity about how I let you abuse me. Nobody. I don't care if you're African American, Irishman, Englishman. It don't make no difference. And I think it's totally unfair for any human being in this world to subject anyone to death, murder, or any physical harm and think that you're going to use any type of religious figure as a response. No, come on with the jokes. If that's the case, then what? And I'm glad I'm rolling with the Lord. If that's the case, then most humans will never see my Christianity because I'm not going to let you do what you want to do to me.
Mm-hmm.
Hit me, talk to me, spit on me, and then say, "Oh, well, it's the name of God." Well, this is too. Come on with the jokes, y'all. Come on now.
Okay, let me go to Toya. Tell us how you really feel, sis. Tell us how you really feel. I'm just asking. Donald Tucson, what's on your heart, brother?
I understand both the question and the answer because I guess excuse me, made me choke on my own
saliva.
Anyway, yes, sure did choke me half to death.
Yes, sir.
I'm not perfect, but I am my type of Christian, not nobody else's type of Christian, because I don't fit in a box of somebody else's mentality.
Mm-hmm.
I'm grateful to who God is in my life.
Come on.
Creator, however you want to say.
Mm-hmm.
I love what he does because he blesses me in spite of. He takes good care of me, takes care of my family. He gave me a family. You know, I've been in the short version, okay? I'm going to shorten this version up.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in Christ. Not nobody else's Christ, one that I believe in.
Mm-hmm.
Whether he's pink, that's what I believe. Okay? But if you bother my family, my children, and if I have something to defend myself, I'm going to do everything that I possibly can to protect them.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it fears me, it terrifies me to be able to think about Phantom taking somebody's life.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's yours or mine, I'm going to make that decision.
Yeah.
I'd have made that decision years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Period.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm defending, I'm not going to go out and look for somebody to just take out. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
That's not Christ-like. That's not God. That's not righteous.
Mm-hmm.
But if I find myself in a battle, definitely I'm going. Why are you going to go to a battle and don't go there to fight?
Mm-hmm.
You might as well stay at home.
Yeah.
Let me throw this out here and I'm going to shut up. Even God himself says, vengeance is mine. I'm going to repay.
Mm-hmm.
And see, the way that we did Christ, those that are guilty of really the act of crucifixion, going to answer for it.
Mm-hmm.
There will be a fight.
Yeah.
It's coming. And it's coming fast. You can see it because the enemy is making his last stand. He's attacking
Say
you,
it, Donald.
and he's attacking me.
Yep.
I'm just saying what it is, what it is.
Yeah.
And when the one that we call the merciful God, the one that has all patience and long suffering with us, when he get tired, and man, the human, the evilness starts to rebel really against him, he gonna bust their head to the white meat.
Wow. So Daria, let me ask you this question: if someone was in the act of trying to kill you, and they get to the point where they're trying to perform that very act, could you pray for that individual?
This is. I was listening to Donald, and I was listening to, was that Toya?
Yes.
And I also listened to Rico. First, I'm going to answer your question. Yes, I could.
Wow.
And this is why I could. I'll tell you why I could. Because even though I may not have committed murderous acts with my hands, I have committed murderous acts with my tongue, murderous acts with my behavior, murderous acts with self-abuse. So, and I would want and hope that all of the people that I have offended in life would forgive me. So that's the reason that I could pray. That's the first part of the question. The second thing I wanted to say and just share with all of us, because many of us aspire to Christianity or believing in Jesus Christ. Everybody wants to believe in God, and there are many gods. The Word of God tells us that. So when people say they believe in God, I don't automatically assume they believe in the principles of Jesus Christ, because those are two different things. One of the things that the Lord shared with me was that the Old Testament, where you saw him destroy and kill all the way down to children, is a representation of his masculine nature. And the New Testament with Jesus, with love and nurture and kindness, is a representation of his feminine nature. So when you put the two together as mankind, we all have the ability to operate in either nature. Now, as far as when we say, what would Jesus do? If we're aspiring and truly aspiring in our heart to represent the nature of Jesus, Jesus's nature was completely love, and love doesn't destroy or kill anyone. Now, if you're operating in the nature of God the Father, you have the ability to destroy, to kill, to plunder, to take from other nations, to build your own nation. You still have that same ability, and it goes right back to he gave us the opportunity to choose. So in a situation where a person is confronted, they have the opportunity to choose. But just remember, in the Old Testament, some of the greatest men and women were murderers. And in the New Testament, the apostles in Jesus operated out of love and love only, which is our Martin Luther King. So when you use Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, you use an Old Testament and New Testament. And that's how God explained it to me. So for me, yes, I could pray for that person. For me, no, I don't own a gun, and I don't believe I have it in me to take a life. When you talk about my children, I do become violent. So that would play itself out if it ever got to that place. I would probably jump in front of a bullet for one of my children.
Okay.
But
now let me do this.
That's where I stand on that.
Let me do this. We got another call. I want to touch on the other caller as well that just called in. Now you say Malcolm and Martin is Old and New Testament. How would you define which is which?
Martin Luther King is New Testament in representation of love and nonviolence.
Okay.
Malcolm X is Old Testament in representation of God and destruction. And at some point, he came into a more loving knowledge. I'm I'm going to say that in correction. But initially, he would have, in the way God has shown it to me, this is what I'm saying, Sideria, he would have represented God of the Old Testament.
Mm-hmm. Okay. We got another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Good morning. This is Bishop.
What's going on, Bishop?
Man, I'm blessed. Good. How you doing?
Hey, blessed as well, brother. Hey, we asking a question. I know you've been listening this morning,
man.
huh?
I'm sorry I missed the show yesterday.
Yes, sir. You gonna go back and look at it. But listen, I need to ask you a question though. Would you pull the trigger?
That's a good question.
Mm-hmm. Very good question.
The answer is yes.
Mm-hmm. Now.
You want me to elaborate?
I want you to, but I want to give you the second part of it first. And could you carry the body? Because once you do that, and you take somebody's life, the rest of your life you're carrying that body. Would you be able to carry the body?
Explain carry the body. The burden of shooting someone?
The burden, the hauntedness that goes along with it. Yeah, all of that.
This is a new situation for me. Once it's done, it's done. No, I won't carry the burden.
Mm-hmm.
I will not carry the burden of having to defend myself. There's a difference with shooting someone and the process of robbing them, taking their possession. But in self-defense, it is always okay to defend yourself and to defend others. So, yes, I can pull the trigger. And for the well-being of others as well as myself, the Second Amendment gives us the right to protect person and property.
Mm-hmm.
So through that, I'm going to protect me, I'm going to protect my family. The thing about it, a lot of times people, when you go back and talk about Martin Luther King took Mahatma Gandhi's concept and brought it and tried to bring it to life.
Mm-hmm.
But when Christ told him in the book of Luke, chapter 22 and verse 36, when he was talking to his apostles, I'm talking about Jesus Christ said this. And he told them to take purse and take scrip and fill their cloak and buy a sword. Now, when you tell somebody to buy a sword, swords were not designed to cut bread. They were designed to protect oneself, someone else. So you got to understand that when it comes down to reading the word of God, you got to be able to rightly divide it. But if someone was to try to harm me and I have a weapon, I'm going to protect myself. If someone tried to harm my wife or my children, and I'm going to protect them. Because
Bishop,
that's what we're given that opportunity to do.
Okay, and I'm gonna ask you the question that we kind of posed this question. We touched on it, but we didn't dive into it earlier. And I know the answer, but I want you to, for my babes in Christ, I want you to expound on this just a little bit. You say if somebody come and trying to take your life, and you're going to protect yourself. My question is, what makes your life more valuable than theirs?
Well, ask the question to them.
Mm-hmm.
What makes them think their life is more valuable than mine? Most crimes and most murders are committed out of gang initiation, trying to steal off from someone. Therefore, at some point, you have to realize, am I going to continue to be a victim now and forever? Am I going to protect what is mine? When I was a police officer, a young man broke into an old guy's house. He's very religious, very studious. And he was sitting there and said, "Come here, son, let me talk to you." And he started reading the Bible to him. So he's reading the Bible, the little boy got frustrated, so he broke into the man's house to rob him. He then walks up and pulls the gun and shoots the man in the head. I repeat.
Yeah.
He walks up and shoots the man in the head. The way we were able to catch him, he had the man's blood prints on his shoes as he walked out the house. And guess who it was? The neighbor's kid. And you know what he told us?
What's that?
He said, "We want to know, why'd you kill him?" He said, "I got tired of him reading the Bible. I want to know that wrong."
Didn't want to hear it.
So now, here's the question. You can say you're a Christian all day long. And I know there's a point in time for us to leave there. We're going to leave there by God's time. But the question is asked, why die before your time?
Okay.
So if you had stood up, if you had armed yourself to protect yourself, see, the Bible is a good tool to read. and it teaches them how to learn and live and serve God. It really does. And who he is. A lot of people don't know who God is. But at the end of the day, if you want to have my car, I'll give you the car. But if you think you're going to pull a gun and shoot me for the car, and I'm able to get a gun, or I'm able to hold a gun, see, I told you can have the car. But they don't care about that. They're going to kill you too.
Mm-hmm.
So let me protect me. Let me protect my interests, which is my family, my wife, my children. And let's keep it moving.
Yeah, exactly. Good deal. Good deal. Let me go to Christopher. Christopher, what's on your heart, brother?
Hey, Ryan.
Hey.
I know a lot has been said, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and sometimes, you know, you can almost pull a scripture to defend any position that you want to take, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So when a believer has a conviction, you know, like there are people that feel like I have to protect myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's their conviction. But there are people that have the conviction that God protects me. I am so confident that God directs my steps and protects me, that he orders my steps. I'll give you an example. I was in Africa with my family, and I was traveling on a very dangerous road at night, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there was an armed robbery taking place at the next turn. And as I was driving, I heard in my spirit, slow down. So as I slowed down, I immediately saw that these guys had put a big tree across the street, and they were robbing the car that was on the other side.
Mm.
So I was able to turn around and avoid that, because there was this voice that was directing my path.
Mm-hmm.
I am so confident in that voice leading and directing me that I believe that God will protect me from danger. He'll protect me from evil. He'll deliver me from things that I can't even see, you know? So there are people that have that strong conviction,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And there are also people that through their life experiences, like one of the ladies shared, they feel like, I got to take care of me. I also have some level of confidence in civil societies that have sort of developed to some great degree a law and order, where they are law and order forces. You know, there are people that have been assigned to be the people that carry out law and order.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know we don't have a lot of trust in the policing in America due to our personal experiences, but there are all these things that have been placed in society to protect the common man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I believe if we go through the scripture, we find that every civil society have developed, you know, a system of people that, you know, have their job is to bring law and order to society. Even in Africa,
Mm-hmm.
you know, in my village, they had a masquerade. His job was to bring law and order to society. You know, when the masquerade comes out and a problem comes up, the masquerade comes in. This is old system, but it's still that mindset that we can't put law and order in every man's hand.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes, you know, people kill because you step on their sneaker.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's like
Mm-hmm.
they're full of guns because you
Yes.
step on my sneaker, I'm gonna kill you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So if we live law and order to every individual, I think it's a very dangerous place.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but if we trust that there can be a development of law and order that will be for the protection of every person, although that doesn't happen, but that is to me, that's where my mind goes to. I'd rather call 911 than pull the gun. I'd rather look for somebody that it is their job. They have the responsibility. They have the training to pull the gun. You know, that's where my mind is. But I don't think it's, like Lerner said where he was, and the other lady said where she was. I don't think it's like I can attack her for her beliefs, but she can't attack me for my belief either. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I believe I don't need a gun, then that's my belief. If she believes she needs a gun, that's her belief. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My belief has been good enough and have kept me for almost 60 years. Her belief has kept her for where she is. So we got to learn to live with each other.
That's good. That's good. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
Just listening to the various perspectives or what have you, and I like the way Pastor Chris put it. That's his choice. I'm all about people's choice, man. Like I said, I'm not a person that's going to ever try to get involved with someone's personal life. I just want you to have the opportunity to choose.
That's good.
So when I ask certain questions, though, I deal with natural questions, with natural things.
You up next. Oh Lord, something just happened and everybody got kicked out. Let me pull everybody back in. Something just happened and everybody got kicked out. I don't know what happened there, man. Everybody got kicked out. Yeah, exactly. Cassandra, you there? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Leonard.
I don't see Sadaria. Okay.
No, go ahead, Leonard. Finish your thought, brother.
Oh, we have to. It's all about in that comparison between Malcolm and MLK and all these things. They had different ways of doing things. And when people always say, "What would Jesus do?" or what have you, that's what Jesus would do. I ain't Jesus.
You ain't got nothing to do with you.
I'm not Jesus.
He was created for that.
So I don't. Jesus don't need. Jesus gonna come back and kill a whole bunch of people. Let the word tell it. Okay. So matter of fact, Jesus gonna let folks that died before he came back get up and kill them again.
You better say it some more.
Okay. So let's not get it twisted.
Listen to that toy in the background. Let's cheerleader. Listen to that toy.
I don't know where this utopia. I don't know where this utopia at.
Lord,
but when I'm out and about and I see these people carrying these guns and all this, and I got my permit and everything. I've shot forever. Man, when I was still in the military, I was going my way to sniper school, all that. So I'm walking behind cats with guns, and I'm like, do he know how easily I could take that gun from him?
Wow.
How easily I could take his gun from him. Because he wearing the gun thinking he tough.
Yeah.
He wearing the gun thinking he's protecting himself. And he ain't never got his mind on his six. You know what I'm saying? I'm behind you, fool.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to certain things, no, I'm not. I know people who look for altercations. I'm never looking for an altercation. Can no one say I attacked them out of anything other than something they did to me?
Yeah.
So like Pastor Chris and Sadaria, I like what they're saying because that's their perspective. They justify their perspective. That's all that's necessary. See, me, I can take it up with at the judgment bar. I'm not, a lot of Christians trying to get into heaven. If I get close, I'll be good. You understand? I can sit in the back seat. I ain't got to sit in the front. I ain't got to wear no white robe. So I'm just trying to do the best I can on the right path.
Exactly.
I'm not, I don't allow people to use religion and all these things to try and distract me.
Good deal.
I've been a Christian for a minute. So all that other stuff people be talking about don't even bother me, man.
Good deal, preacher. Hold on, preacher. Hold on. Let me go. I got to pull Cassandra in here. Cassandra, good morning. How you doing this morning, young lady?
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Hey, doing good, Cassandra. I need to ask you a question. And we've been talking about this for a minute. I know you've been listening. I want to pretty much catch you up to where we were. Could you pull the trigger? And if so, would you be able to carry the body?
Yeah, I could pull the trigger. and I'd be able to carry the body because I think Bishop and several others have said, somebody is trying to take your life, what do? You just, in the name of Jesus, you're gonna let them kill you? What is that?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't get that mentality. I've been in ministry almost 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think like that. And I know that God protects us, but it's folks out here that are crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been in a situation where I was seriously hurt, and I was saved, sanctified, Holy Ghost filled with the evidence of speaking in tongues, and that person still hurt me.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So
Mm-hmm.
then, if I wanted to be radical, I could say, well, where was God? Why didn't he stop that person from almost killing me? So I don't, I don't, it's great when people feel that way. I think it's amazing. Good. And if you never have been in a situation where somebody tried to kill you or seriously harmed you, and you were saved, good. I'm not that person.
Mm-hmm.
I've been where somebody tried to kill me and I was saved.
Wow.
And Holy Ghost filled and
Mm-hmm.
fire baptized
Mm-hmm.
and with the evidence of speaking in tongues.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm whatever we want to believe is fine. But if I was able to hurt that person that hurt me, I would have taken them out rather than have them almost kill me.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And Cassandra, I'm gonna ask you the same question I asked I think Christopher. I asked somebody this question earlier, and this is for the babes in Christ. Someone's coming to kill you, and you take them out. What makes your life more important than theirs?
No, it's not about my life so much being more important to them, but I want to live.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, they want me to die at their hands at their time.
Good job.
But I want to live.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I'm not going to just, my life. It's not that my life is more important than theirs, but I plan on living.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's not their place to take your life.
Yeah, I'm not going to sit there and let them take my life, and I can do something about it.
Cassandra.
I mean, that's stupidity. That's stupidity.
Cassandra, boy, look here. Tell us how you feel, sis. We with you.
I'm gonna take one for Jesus. Yeah, go ahead and kill me. No,
It ain't gonna go down like that.
Sound right?
We said no.
He's the sacrifice. He's the sacrifice, not me.
Yeah, I don't have to sacrifice. He sacrificed for me. Why am I going to just let somebody kill me when I can protect myself? I don't know.
You gonna run to the phone and call somebody with a gun? Stop it.
Because it just don't sound right. That don't sound right. 678-381-1973. 678-381-1973. Rico, coming to you. Then Toya, be on standby. We're coming to you next. What's on your heart, Rico?
That's why I think I got to pat myself on the back for being understanding. I said earlier I was not going to speak from a personal perspective, and I'm going to still try not to speak from a personal perspective. Mm-hmm. But I think when I made the comment, according to what Sedaria and Reverend Christopher said, it wasn't a joke. Mm-hmm. I wasn't joking. I was speaking from their point of view, people that's like them. Mm-hmm. See, me, I agree with all y'all, but I'm extreme. I feel like God put my enemies on a platter in front of me to take out. I do God's work. Remember, I did say that sometimes I will be the person to go and defend those people that wouldn't raise a hand to defend themselves. Mm-hmm. But some people might get offended by how I feel. So what I'm going to do, I leave my perspective out of it because my perspective ain't religious. If it is a judgment day, I deal with my consequences then. I get my vengeance. And you ain't even got to try to pull no trigger on me. You could just disrespect me to a certain extent, and I might come touch you. But see, everybody ain't with that. Everybody don't believe in that. See, I'm like Cassandra. Cassandra, she said a second ago, well, God didn't stop them. But what I did, I tried to come from a perspective because I'm trying to show people. I tried to show people that you have some people that come from both of those ideologies. One is that they want to protect everything that God created by any means necessary. So if they got to kill you to protect what God created, they might do that. But then you have some that have that peaceful, that conviction, that peaceful mentality about them that they just refuse to take a life, like Sedaria and Pastor. So it wasn't a joke. You get what I'm saying? It may have been like a joke to somebody else, but that was because they came from their perspective. But and see, my perspective is not Sedaria's or Pastor Crystal. Because I'm not the one, I wouldn't be the one to lay down and say, I put it to you this way, scared to shoot a gun, who? Ain't got a gun, who? I got choppers. I love my sleep in the bed with one. I ain't all the way there yet. I'm still learning. I'm a work in progress. Remember I said that. So it ain't no joke, but I am understanding enough and got enough perspective enough to understand that there are people out there that will lay down and take that beat. Martin Luther King did it. You ain't got to do it. They ain't got to do it. I am not going to do it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you have those that will do it. And we got to understand that there are human beings out there with humane mentality that refuse to take life. They really love and appreciate life. And I can appreciate them. If I was ever in a situation where Sedaria or Pastor Christopher was in my presence and they was getting disrespected, me knowing that perspective, I would be their protector.
That's good.
But I'm just gonna put that out there. It wasn't no joke, you know what I'm saying? So I know some people get passionate and they start speaking their mind and this and that and stop the joke. It wasn't a joke. I think Sedaria and Christopher proved that it wasn't a joke what I said. Some people have that mentality that they want to walk in the footsteps of Jesus. And I don't think Jesus would have lifted a hand to kill anybody, take any kind of life. So, you know, you got to respect those people for feeling that way. You can't ridicule those people that feel and live that way, but I will go out my way to protect them.
Toya with a T. Badger coming to you next. We got Badger with us this morning. Badger, you up next, brother. Toya, what's on your heart?
That's right. Hey, I'm gonna be the sergeant, master sergeant, captain of the soldier team for heaven. What you say? Who you need somebody to do what? Because I'm not. Thank you, appreciate you, Lord, because you know I'm gonna do it right. I've always been that person that you gotta back me into a corner. I thank the Lord right now because I'm in a situation with somebody that, again, here we go with messing with me now, because I said, Lord, I ain't gonna do this. Now they trying me, but I'm so strong now. I ain't even finna I don't do all that fighting and carrying on. This energy I use gonna be for war. You understand me? And if it ain't war, I'm not gonna be going through all these emotions. But I thank the Lord. You're right. The people who don't want to have to fight, you ain't got to. I got you. Now you're right. You ain't got to worry about it, honey. I got you, baby. No, you keep on being peaceful, and that's right, baby. You say just like how you say, honey. You ain't got to worry about it. But I'm telling you what, right now, let them come roll up on you while I'm here. I'm all that too, right? But when I see them signs of stealing, killing, and destroying, I keep telling you, I get like David, I get like Moses, I get like what? I don't know now. Hold up now.
Preach, Toya.
Rise on up.
They're going to chill it
now. The demons not gonna be walking around here using their only authority to steal, kill, and destroy. And I just
I'm with you when you're right.
What I need to see, wash them away, Lord. What I need to do, rock, swing shot, let's go. And I'm cool with that. My sister, my nieces and nephews, my dad, the whole world. I am cool with that. But I'm telling you now, I'm going to use my dominion, and I'm talking to the Lord with it on a daily basis. Give me the strength and give me the legion of angels to come, Lord, because I'm not with it. I believe with my whole heart you're on the right thing. I believe I'm turning cheeks. I'm with it. But what you're not going to do, what I'm not going to let you do while my eyes open, Harriet Tubman, my great-great-grandmama, what? Let's go. I am not going to let a demon. And I don't know all the words of the law. I don't even do everything I'm supposed to with the Lord. But I know what you ain't supposed to be doing. And I know stealing, killing, and destroying, you don't get no rain. And I'm here to protect him. So absolutely, everybody, anywhere, they can be out they want to. I had a man try to take out a gun on me in my own father's house. I was 19 years old. I don't know what he thought I was supposed to do, but let me let y'all know who wound up with the gun and who wound up out the house. Not me. Let me just put that right there like that. Let me just put that right there like that. And that was at 19. You're going to have to go on and do me now, because I'm not going to have breath in me. And you think you get to walk around and hurt or abuse or manipulate when it's wrong? No. And I believe the power of God, he can use whoever he wants to. He can use a donkey if he wants to.
Yeah.
When it comes to righteousness and his righteousness, please use me. You're right. Nobody else would ever have to do anything else. Call me out the background like David. Call me out the background like David. I was over here tending the sheep. Oh, what you said? Don't nobody want to face the giant? I got it, Lord. And I'm going to go ahead and knock your head up and going back to work. Call it a day. But it better be a righteous call by the God.
Good deal. Good deal.
Long live the queen.
Listen to Atlanta. Listen to Atlanta back there. Badger, good morning. How you doing this morning, sir?
Oh, that's a beautiful day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Badger, could you pull the trigger and could you carry the body?
Could I pull the trigger and carry the Bible?
No, carry the body. The body of
the body.
Yeah, the body.
Hey, hold on.
Go ahead, Rico. I don't know what Badger doing over there.
I was thinking you'd probably go to Sedaris since you just went to me before you went to Toya.
Oh, okay. Well, let me revisit this thing. Let me swing this thing back around. So, Daria, what's on your heart, sis?
Just listening to all my brothers and sisters. As I was listening, the word grace came. The word grace, and we all live on the skirt tail of grace. And the grace is not because of anything we've done or even maybe anything we deserve. The grace is because someone in love gave up their life for us to have the freedom to live eternally. We think that the end all to our being stops with this body. This body is only a suit to wear so we don't be floating all around in the air and we have gravity. We can stay on the ground. That's really the only purpose for the body, and for us to be able to identify one another when we see one another out of our natural eyes. Grace, the coattails of grace, we all live in. Those who would carry a gun and those who might feel a need to use the gun, as well as those who don't carry a gun and may feel the need to never use a gun. That grace is provided for both sides of the fence because God says he wished that none would be lost. And that means those who he's given a warrior spirit, like my friend Toya and my friend Leonard, and those who he's given a lamb spirit, like Chris and like myself and others. So, that's what grace is for. And I'm going to say one more thing. Paul said, is Christ divided? And because of opinion, life experiences, our own personal hurts, Christ has become divided. He didn't say, is God divided? He said, is Christ and Christ's principles, which is the life that he lived before mankind, are those principles to be divided? There was only one principle about Christ, and that principle was love. And that's why the 2 commandments that Christ gave were about love. And if, in fact, we ever are enlightened and mature to the fullness of love, none of us will kill each other because love is not going to destroy another life.
Exactly.
It's just not going to. So that's, where I stand in hearing everything that everybody said. I'm not saying anybody is wrong. I'm saying we all, when we get up every morning, he says he gives us new mercies. He already know what we're going to do. And he already know what kind of mercy we're going to need. He never said he gives us new grace. The only thing he said he gave us new every morning was mercy.
Yes.
Because we were going to need it.
I'm done.
Good deal. Toussaint, talk to me, brother. Cassandra, coming to you next.
I'm ready, by the way.
Thank you, Lord.
Interesting. But let's see what I want to say. Because I keep thinking this Sidoria talks, I think about when Christ, the most powerful person that you possibly can know of, had all authority, tells a man that you don't take my life and lay it down.
Amen.
But I have the power to pick it back up again. So I understand the sacrifice because of a lamb spirit. Let me say it like that. Of a lamb spirit. Because he laid down as a lamb slain, giving it freely. And I really do understand that. But I keep thinking about the wrath for disobedience, for wickedness, for unrighteousness that's surely to come. It's coming. It's coming. And I'm going to say this, I'm shut up. There was a local pastor that him and his wife were sleeping in their own house. And was awoken by somebody, an intruder. And it spread like wildfire that the pastor, this great poet preacher, took his own protective weapon out and shot the man. My question is, what was he supposed to do?
Yeah.
I'm done.
Okay. Wow.
That's it.
And that's a question that depending on who you ask, the person will struggle with a little bit, will have an issue with, because it depends on where they're standing. And like Sidoria said, are you which heart you coming with? I think I said I'll come to Cassandra next. I don't know if I said Cassandra or Toya, but Cassandra, what's on your heart? Then I'm Badger. I know you're back now. Cassandra, what's on your heart?
Yeah, once again, everybody has their position on these conversations, and the pastor, to me, did the right thing. I mean, when Jesus sacrificed his life,
Cassandra,
he said he could pick it.
Now, I'm not surprised from the thug pastor, but anyway, I had to get that in there. Go ahead, sis.
Oh Lord! But when Jesus laid down his life, the statement that people have said is that because he could pick it up again. How many of you, if you get shot by somebody trying to take your life at your house or walking down the street, and you let them shoot you because you're a Christian and you don't want to shoot them even though you could protect yourself, how many of y'all gonna raise up on the third day? I'm just curious.
I guarantee you none of them.
How many of y'all gonna raise up on the third day? I'm just no. I'm putting it out there because I've never seen any Christian raise up 3 days after they died, except for Jesus. I don't know any Christian that was killed by someone trying to take their life that they could have first taken their life to protect themselves. I don't know one person that rose up after they were dead after 3 days. Now, if y'all know somebody, then tell me, because I haven't met anybody, and I will greatly appreciate knowing that who that person is, so that I can reach out and get more information about it. But for right now, I don't know any Christians that rose up after 3 days after they'd been killed unnecessarily.
No,
laying their life down supposedly for the cause. I mean, listen, do what you want to do. Whatever makes you happy, please do that. I'm just saying, if somebody is trying to take my life, if I have the opportunity to take their life first, they're gone.
Yeah, it's a history. A history,
and I'm gonna be saved afterwards too.
Lord Jesus. Okay, the thug pastor has spoken, y'all.
So what I'm trying to find out, are we
long
angry,
live the queen?
Are we angry because people don't believe in taking life? Because that's what it's starting to sound. It's starting to sound like we actually.
Rico, I'm happy for them. I'm happy for anybody that will just die because they just want to prove that they are a good Christian. Die. I mean, good. I mean, God bless you. It obviously is something you are passionate about, and I'm passionate about several things. So no, I'm not angry with them. If you want to die to prove a point that you are a good Christian and let somebody take your life, by all means, go ahead and let them kill you.
Or maybe they don't. Maybe they're not trying to prove a point. Maybe they just too passionate about not taking life. Maybe they just don't have a violent bone in their body and they can't get that aggression. Some people don't have aggression. We act like everybody got aggression. Look, guns were invented for a reason because cowards couldn't fight. Just think about it. You remember earlier I was talking about how we need to boycott a mindset. We talking about a white man invention. Ain't this something? We sitting up here talking about a colonizer's invention that he used to go and overtake people that were stronger than him. Now, don't get me wrong, we do need to use the same weapon, an eye for an eye. But sometimes we need to think about the mindset that goes with that. See, everybody doesn't have aggression because aggression isn't supposed to be just automatically natural. Everybody isn't supposed to just want to take people resources and enslave them and kill them and rape them. That ain't natural. But some beast, some demon created this atmosphere, and we up here arguing about his weapons, his projectile. Ain't that something? We need to boycott some stuff.
Badger, what's on your heart, brother? Good morning. Coming back to you.
Good morning. Well, for one, I just need. Could I shoot somebody? There's a reason I don't own a gun. Because I know for a fact if I saw somebody harming a woman or a child or something like that, I know exactly what I'll do. So I carry around sharp objects instead. Because I know I am one of those trigger happy people.
Okay.
As far as carrying a body, I don't think my back would let me.
Please leave your message for.
Lord. Trying to call. Let me see. Trying to call her back.
That's something else, though. If a person knows that the likelihood of them actually pulling that trigger is something that is very possible that they're going to do, why own one in the first place if you know you're going to do something like that? Because taking someone's life.
Well, some people would say, and the argument that they'll give you,
protection
to a fact or whatever. Yeah, they would say it's for protection, just in case somebody, they 2:00 at night, somebody come in and kick in their front door or their back door, what have you. They want to be able to protect the family that's inside, and so they have a gun, projectile, as Rico said, for that very reason.
You wouldn't have one and you won't pull the trigger. Why would you have one and you won't pull the trigger? So if you know you're gonna pull the trigger, it's probably good to have one.
Exactly. Let me go to go ahead, Badger. Finish your thought.
If someone broke into my house, they better hope whatever gun they have is going to be able to stop me from getting close to them. I've been shot before, and
please leave your message
me that time, and I don't think it'll stop me from protecting my kids. But I have a sharp object in pretty much every corner of this house at all times. So, and I don't have to reload them.
There you go. Bishop, talk to me, Bishop. What's on your heart, brother? Bishop, you there? I'm about to say it to you, Bishop. Wake up and go to sleep. Toya with a T. Well, yes, sis.
Yeah, I'm right here. The body of Christ,
right? Look at a lot of parts of the body we take it for granted. A lot of parts of the body, his pinky toes, his pinky fingers, his eyeballs, eyebrows, all of this is very important. You feel me? And you got the head. You understand what I'm saying? I think the important part we need to remember is operating in that body is that when we gonna move, we need to move and God say move, right? Now,
please leave your message for.
I'm not none of that, but I do come with a spirit that you know not to play with me. I don't care who you are. And I walk with that spirit because I'm a true believer in God. I believe in the power He gave me. We want to call it manifestation of energy, but I believe it's a true fact that because I believe in God and every word that He says, and I know He gives me power, I walk with it. So therefore, I don't need all that. When I tell you I'm so crazy with the Lord in power, I take that gun from you, beat you with it, and send you home. You better get out of here if I take off my belt and beat you. Like straight up. And that's the power I walk with around this world because I don't do everything the Lord say do, but it's a lot of things I don't do. I don't walk with a spirit to cause fear and harm people and things like that. I come to help and I stand on that. And I use that power. So therefore, I feel like I have had strength in situations, like I said earlier, being in abusive relationships, fighting with men and coming out the winner. I believe that was not of my own strength, but that was the teaching God gave me collectively, the training from my father, the mind to move when He say move, because I'm a person where I will, I don't care what nobody says. So you can think you're a punk or whatever, and I'll walk away. But when you put me in a corner to where you feel like I don't have no choice, then all bets is off, and I'll be more than happy to say, Your Honor, just give me the keys. I let myself in. You understand what I'm saying? I hold myself accountable first. I used to write myself up at work when I did something. I don't need nobody to come tell me what I did wrong. Here you go, boss. I wrote myself up because this is what I did. I broke a violation. But as I understand my dominion, I also understand what life I'm in. I don't be in the world or of the world, so I don't need a gun. But I do believe if somebody was to get in my Uber, I drive all times of night. They would get in my car with an Uber or any kind of demonic spirit. Boy, by the time they leave up out of here, they're going to leave up out of here running the stage, one of the two. And I'm going to be all the way honest with them. Just like I'm talking to y'all, you're going to understand me. I ain't using no big words, no fancy words. Human and human. And that's where God come in at. And this is the power of our Lamb. Right? When they say that we're going to believe in God, this is what they are. They're the calmness that these people need. God knows everything everybody needs to make whatever happen. And that power and their calmness is what is needed at that time. So, when we try to look at our God, we got to understand how big He is and He do what He want to do. But when it's time for you to make a move, whatever it is, you better listen to what He's telling you to do. And shall it be a murder, no matter what you go through, He's going to make sure that you receive what you have to you, period. Because there's too many stories for me to say, I'm just going to let somebody do whatever. I know the goal is to live because I don't know. If I turn my cheek, I might even one day be the governor and have to save the very family who left me for dead. You understand what I'm saying? So I just try to make sure that I listen for God and what He say do because He know what I got in me. But a lot of the ways where I was taking it to my own hands, I tried not to do that anymore. But good conversation. I love y'all.
Hey, love you as well, sis. Love you as well. Leonard, talk to me, brother.
Which one we talk to you about right here?
Just talk to me, brother. What's going on? Man? We got a lot of layers here, bro. We got a lot of layers.
Exactly. But I'm glad people being honest. Me, I'm not, caught up with a lot of different things when it comes to making decisions about my behavior and my character. I know the path I'm on. Everything else is everything else. And, it's how I carry myself. And like I say, praying for protection for myself and my family everywhere that I go or what have you. But I'm not around here trying to be a person that everybody thinks a pushover. And you have to be very aware that people will take advantage of you. It don't matter if you Christian, not Christian, gay, straight, it don't matter. The devil comes to steal, to kill, and to destroy.
Absolutely.
Now, I have to be against that. I have to be. It's one thing to say what you would and won't do and then second guess yourself. I'm just not a second guessing type person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to sit there and think about all this type of thing when I'm making my decision. Now we can debrief afterwards.
And Leonard, I'm gonna tell you something. If you're in the heat of that moment and you're sitting there debating with yourself, you could very well be the one that get shot because you're sitting there. You never and somebody say you never give a man a second chance to pull the first gun. If you're gonna take it out, use it. You don't sit there and debate. Well, I should. No.
Right. I mean,
if you're gonna take it out,
instance, why would I go to sniper school if I didn't plan on killing somebody?
Exactly.
I've been shooting all my life.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have this unhealthy connection with guns or think guns mean anything, but they're just tools to get work done with.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it don't matter to me. You can be romantic about the gun or romantic. Some people like to cut you instead of shoot you. Some people like to choke.
Mm-hmm.
It just whatever you choose to do. That the gun is just the tool, and I think we just so romantic about guns all the time. Guns were created to kill a lot of people at one time.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tool of war.
Yes, it is.
That's why it was created for that purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't even try to sit and try to persuade somebody that it was for something else to make you feel better about why I have a gun. I have a right to bear arms. I have one. My son has his permit. He has a gun. My wife goes to the range. My youngest son is 13. Actually, that was when I had become a junior member of the NRA at around 13. And so, I have a different perspective when it comes to guns and things like that. They're not bad. Guns aren't bad guys. Guys holding guns are bad.
So guns don't kill people, men kill people.
Exactly. So we really have to take it in perspective, but everyone, I think, has given a clear reason for why they would or would not do something.
Mm-hmm. Good deal.
Now they don't owe us that.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
But now if you didn't get a chance to hear all the reasons, you can log on to www.dkmmediagroup.com and Eastern today.
Yeah, that's a slick rascal right there, boy. That's a slick rascal right there. You see how
else you gonna hear it? I mean, I might have to save this one myself because the Queen Toya brought it.
Come on now. Look here.
She didn't just tell you an ideology.
Mm-hmm.
She told you of experience.
Yeah.
And how she's doing it and how she's learned to live this life walking in dominion. See, that's different than just being out here.
Absolutely. Let me go to the 816 area code. 816 area code. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Y'all know it's K from the KC Finance.
K with an E. K with an E. I need to ask you a question. I know you've been listening for a minute. Can you pull the trigger? And if you do, can you carry the weight of the body?
Yeah, if I pull the trigger, but if I have to pull the trigger, I'm just gonna tell you, I'm old school. Don't nobody know what I did with me and God. That's it and that's all. So I don't have to worry about that. Like, no. And I can confess, I did this before. And when I seen the little chick on the bus stop, I didn't kill her. I shot her and kept it moving. And I just shot her in her foot and kept it moving. But she know what she did. She just didn't know who she did it to. She was messing with my kids at the laundromat. And I was like, I can't do nothing to her in this laundromat, but y'all stay over here by me. And that was back in the day. She was being prejudiced. And I lived right in the smack of the white people. And I wasn't having it.
Had the statute of limitation run out? Because you might not want to confess now. Had the statute of limitation run out?
It's gone. I didn't kill her. I told them it was not a secret. I'm in too many organizations. And if they don't know nothing else about Kay Francis, they know that much about her. Don't push her up against the wall. God will tell anybody that. Don't push his child up against the wall because she's going to come out a winner.
Wow.
So don't push me up against the wall because I'm God's child.
There you go. Bishop, talk to me, Bishop. What's on your heart?
Well, I'll tell you, I've been listening, and everybody has their opinions and views and points. And, I'm not here to judge quarterback, Monday morning quarterback, anything. But I will address this. You asked the question, and what I'm hearing, kill, kill, kill. Well, I don't want to get tied up in the word kill. I want to get caught up in the word of self-defense, protecting oneself. Guns don't kill. It's the people that use them, as Leonard just said. It's the people that use them. But if you're using it for the right reason of protecting oneself and property, that's different than me just going along because I'm mad at Pookie and shooting kill Pookie. Two different scenarios.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, my motto is and will be, I'd rather be judged by 12 than to be carried by 6.
Mm.
And if I can protect me from hurt, harm, or danger, then I'm going to do that. And I'm not, you already know me, I'm not one of them kumbaya kind of preachers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a real preacher.
Yeah.
And because I read and study the Bible, I can very well articulate what scriptures that can be applied to what we have going on in today's time. When Jesus ran the folks out of the temple, he turned over the table. Now, how do you think he ran them out? Now, he didn't have no sword. He ran them out with authority. And apparently, he used something to get those idiots out of the temple selling because he turned God's house into a den of thieves.
Mm-hmm.
But Christ said himself, and this is what I quote, Luke chapter 22 and verse 36, and I will forever stand on that, because he didn't tell nobody to buy a sword to cut no bread.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, understand and rightly divide it. And for those who don't want to use the gun or afraid of them or think the gun is evil, it ain't the gun that's evil, it's the people that use it in the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
We use guns to shoot and kill hogs and animals and things of that nature, but they created them so they can protect themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we need to know and understand.
Exactly.
Second thing, I was listening to Chris when he said God led him, he saw the tree fall, he's talking about it getting robbed. Well, did he call the police to help that person or that family that was getting robbed? Because I see and understand that he took tail and ran the other way because God took him from the evil. But do you not think God brought him that way so he can see and help his brother that was in a bad situation? 3 weeks ago, my son got into an altercation. He lives a few minutes from my house, so his wife called me. I said, dial 911. Now it has escalated a little bit worse. Dude beat my son with a gun. So with me being a former police officer, I most definitely got myself in the car and I ran over there to help to protect my son and defend my son.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the guy that beat my son's there bleeding. He's there bleeding, and I'm trying to control him. Another person acting a fool. So I end up, and I'm trying to talk, but it ended up being a scuffle. And what I do, I went to protect my son. Shortly thereafter, my grandson that got shot in the head by the same fellow. Got shot in the head and got shot in the arm. The boy's only 6 years old.
Mm.
Now, you can sit over there and say whatever you want to say. But until that doggone enemy come at you and your family, you can say, praise the Lord, kumbaya, all day long. But when I went to handle business.
Mm-hmm.
So now my grandson ended up in the hospital because he got shot in the back of the head and in the arm.
Wow.
I'm gonna tell you, you can talk all day long until you get put in that situation.
And
And
nobody.
that's what I want. I'm saved. God gonna protect me.
Mm-hmm.
But my son is the minister.
Mm-hmm.
My son is the minister, and he didn't have a gun.
Mm-hmm. And see, and that's the thing right there. We got 2 minutes before we get on out of here. I want to touch a few more people before we get out of here. So I'll come to you. Give me a real quick version. But my thing is, we all have a heart for what we have a heart for. But you never know what you're gonna do unless you actually thrust and placed in that situation. When that situation, when it's right there in front of you, and there's a gun on that table, and one of your family members or you see somebody getting hurt, and you have to make a decision. Whatever's right for you is the right decision, but that might not be the right decision for me. I might grab the gun and go to firing. That's just, it is what it is. Toya with a T, talk to me. Give me your quick version. Sister, what's on your heart?
Oh man, real quick. Again, you got to listen to the Lord, because sometimes the Lord might tell you not to do something. You might have to. It might sound like the punk way out, but He knows the ultimate ending. And at the end of the day, when things transpire in your heart, God talk to you, and that's what we deal with, man. But that's a whole nother subject for a whole nother day, man. Just be mindful, man. Listen to the Lord, man. Let him lead us whenever we come against those things that sometimes we just don't know, but it's going to make us make the next detrimental change to humanity. Call on the Lord, man. Listen to this show. I love y'all so much. This is a great show to talk about these topics. My heart and my prayers go out to you, man, your family, Bishop, about what happened, man. I'm praying hard body about everything, man. I'm so sorry to hear that story, man. I love y'all so much. Prayers going in the air, man. And let's do it again, man. Let's keep this dialogue going.
Absolutely.
Because I know somewhere, I know it's helping me. Somewhere it's helping people, y'all. Because y'all help me a lot.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Cassandra, real quickly, sister, what's on your heart? Cassandra? I'm about to say it to you, Cassandra. Wake up and go to sleep. K with an E, talk to me, sister. What's on your heart? Quick version.
Quick version, off the mute. I say stay prayed up, and I agree you don't never know until the situation hits you. So if you stay prayed up, you don't got to worry about praying at that moment because God got you because you stay prayed up, and you can kind of deal with that moment because you need to deal with that moment. So stay prayed up so that when a moment come up on you, you can deal with it.
Absolutely. Sadaria, quick version, sis.
Pray without ceasing. God says no man is good but him. So as long as mankind have guns and weapons that they can kill each other, it's always going to be death at the hands of one man to another. Just remember, no man is good except for God.
Absolutely. Cassandra, you back with us? Badger, quick version, brother. What's on your heart?
Life is full of choices. And just because we have tools that can keep or put someone in what we consider their place doesn't mean that's what we should do. Need to be open to listen to Creator so we actually can do the best we can to walk the path we're supposed to walk.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Rico, quick version, brother.
You know, in a perfect world, we wouldn't have to worry about this type of stuff. Everybody would live in peace and harmony. Some people don't have an aggressive bone in their body. Some people have so much love in them that they can't harm or hurt another person, another living thing. Some people are cowards and some people have a lot of fear in them. Regardless of whatever that situation is, I feel like it would be better for us to still protect those people than to judge them and leave them out to dry.
Exactly.
Them or make them feel bad. I would lean in the direction of protecting those people, even though they don't have that aggressive bone. Because I have an understanding that they got love, too much love. Sometimes it might be too much love.
Exact. Good deal. Good deal. Leonard, quick version, brother.
Man, it's been a great show, and you know I'm gonna get me a holster. And I'm gonna put a jawbone in it. Run up. You gotta have that same courage, with or without it, brother. You know what I'm saying?
It's a run up.
But man, it was a good conversation, and I hope people really got it to meet and really understand. You know, if they got some questions, definitely. I'm pretty sure you could post on our site if you want them addressed and things like that. But I mean, I hope people really got some value. And that's what my prayer was about every time this in the morning before we go on the air and you ask me about praying. It's to make sure that we can communicate with people how we handle things as believers.
Yes. Absolutely.
It's not this cookie cutter where we all do the same thing, but we all love the same God.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Toya with a T, pray us out, sis. Toya with a T. I'm about to say it to you. Wake up and go to sleep. Wake up and go to sleep. Sadaria, pray us out, sis.
Father God, thank you for this conversation, Lord. Thank you for the enlightenment that comes from each and every individual that love you in their heart. I pray for a successful day for each and every person.
who is on the panel. I thank you for their heart to proclaim you as their Lord and Savior. And I pray for Mr. Raheem that you continue to bless his morning show and that it continue to be a blessing for many years to come to people who will hear. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
Rico, anything on your heart real quickly, brother?
Oh no, man! This is, like I said, man, another great show, man. I mean, we on this earth together, and we want to make sure if we can not only make sure we have a great fulfilling life, but those around us. You know, I think a question was posed earlier about the different cultures in Africa and in America, and I don't think Africans value life more. I think they value community more.
I tell you one
value
thing.
Community, you know, it can easily lead to the value of life, everybody's life a lot more. So, you know, just love and value each other.
I think one thing about the motherland is I think that one of the things that they value, I think a little more than what we value over here, and this is a totally different conversation, and that's the elderly. I think they really honor their elderly a little more than we do over here. And I wish we could really grasp onto that and take better care of our older people, man, because you know I don't think we do a very good job, and maybe that's something we could talk about as well.
Yeah,
But
you know
right
what?
now,
Maybe community isn't the right word. I think maybe they value legacy. The community has to be involved in the legacy too. So maybe it's the legacy because when you throw the elders in there, that goes back all the way through the ancestors, you know, past practice, and for the future. So you know, I think legacy is what they value more than we value, or righteous legacy.
Good deal. Well, listen, it is time for us to get out of here. It's been a great broadcast. I want to thank everybody for joining us. And more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DKO Media Group and Associates and the Morning Glow for being a part of your morning. It's 10:06. You're about to exit the Morning Glow. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. And we shine this light on you from the Morning Glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in, and let your light so shine. You all take an opportunity, if you don't mind, give somebody some love. You just might find some love in return. Won't that be a beautiful thing? Love you, and take care of one another. Have a great day.